We are back. Sorry about the little delay. We had rehost, which we believe was internet issues. So we're going to jump straight back into this. Bans are
Absolutely.
already in effect. Normal ban phase. And rear stage.
And we did see an Echo and a Mute be early picked on for the rear stage hold. Looks to be as if they're swapping out for a Maestro. And there's no Tachanka. So a little bit of a difference in the lineup for Aygo here. But rear stage and Watchtower, I'm going to suspect that we're about to see a quite in-depth, involved, there's the Echo, strat for holding the site. I'm going to guess Echo Webbies is going to be holding up T3. Castle, pretty standard for the lineup here. Nessus will be keeping Blitz, however, so that's going to be a lot of entry, a lot of ground taking capabilities through that operator. But I am going to guess meeting is going to be very much so substantial. The way of holding this, I want to see as to how far the strat goes. If they're playing meeting and attic, along with playing, T2, T3, and they will be castling off down the laundry stairs. That's quite interesting.
So I had the pleasure of casting Aygo in a different league on Wednesday on this map. They won 7-4 against a team which isn't of the caliber of Nessus. Not to knock them at all, but they used the exact same strat, and it did work quite well. They tend to spread out quite a lot. They will use the rotation from the hole in laundry stairs they made to rotate round the map. They won't leave the door open. It's really weird, but that's a Valk coming spotted out there. But they do like to spread out, but it also gives a lot of options to come in a lot quicker and collapse on the site. The IQ doesn't get rid of one of the Echo drones.
Not the Yokai.
Yeah.
If you pay attention to the attacker lineup right now, I think it's a smart move to bring especially a Maverick and a Capitao, especially because of the fact that there's a Thatcher currently banned. So, electronic destroying, you can only rely on a Twitch drone so much, especially with a site as involved as this. So you're seeing a lot of information gathering right now. They're not being overly aggressive with the information taken. Just really repowering up, trying to kind of gather what's going on. The shots will be exchanged. Capitao's now dropped to half health. It seems to be as Valkyrie is holding T3, and that was the original operator too, to take it off the shots. You see the bolts being charged with the crossbolt, drones to be thrown on in. She is spotted. That's the only operator playing the top portion. They could get a decent crossfire here with two operators repelled on the other side. That may be what Thermite's doing here, as there is only a minute 30 left of the round, still plenty of the time, but Maverick will be picking up the first elimination of the round. That is the Mute off the board. However, mainly a trade that's now Maverick off the board 4v4. Capitao is now down. That is the Jaeger. Curryman makes the elimination 2v4. Now only a Thermite and a Blitz left for the attacking lineup. Still a minute left in the round. Still a lot of information. Drones were dropped in order to be permacams here. But the only loss that has been suffered for Aygo has been the Valkyrie, and the Black Eye cams were tossed in the first moments of the round thus far.
For sure. Now, 45 seconds left. They haven't really got any map control. They've basically just sat on the side of the tower. Haven't really done much, so it's going to be hard for them to really get a plant off. They haven't got meeting control, nor T3. So this should be a very easy plant denial here. We've got Webby on the Echo, pick up the kill onto the Blitz. Thermite in a 1v4 situation, he'll take up some damage onto the castle there, but with 25 seconds left, it's not looking likely that Thermite's going to do anything, as he just looks to pre-5 angles.
It's a very hard position that he's been put in. It's not exactly opportunistic in the ways of utility. He still has 2 breaching charges, but not even enough time to put one of them down. And the Echo will get his, I believe that's his second kill of the round after Blitz. It seemed as if Nessus didn't almost know how to approach the hold that Aygo had provided for the site. As you were saying, the hold is a very involved one, and I was making the guesstimate that the fact they're going there, their first site, means they're very confident in
Yes.
their hold at the site. And well, we just saw a whole entire round go to the last 8 seconds, and really there was no coverage for Nessus in terms of land establishment, pushing, execution. It seems as if they didn't know how to approach it, and they didn't know exactly how to counter it.
For sure, and we're going to see a low entry supply of rimhold here, and I imagine that Alibi's going to get 6-picked. No, it's going to get locked. Now, what that means is that Vigil counterban has worked, because Shamrock on this site, from the rounds I saw on Wednesday, he played in kids with the Vigil. And sort of roamed up there with Vigil. Now he hasn't got Vigil. He's just gone to another Raymer basically. So he's gone to Alibi. Alibi doesn't really have a lot of utility on the site. I mean, you bring impacts, maybe the Bailiff, which he has. But the Prisma's on. They aren't going to do a lot. They might give away someone's position once, but that's about it. But he'll be playing upstairs just to hold the kids. Make sure the attackers really have to clear him. And he has such good gun skill that it's going to be really hard to clear him just in one-on-ones, and they're going to have to pinch him. So,
absolutely. With taking away, you know, such a heavy fragger's main and a lot of time consumption, you're going to have to substitute that with one operator or another. Alibi, I think, is going to be good enough to, if you place it in smart positions, you can absolutely take advantage of how players are pre-firing, especially with how they approach a site. It seems to be struggling with hatch here.
Yeah,
it's really not fun using the Bailiff to drop them. But I do want to see is an operator who really, you know, can exfoliate their utility in the preparation phase, no problem. How that kind of plays along, and if it just like allows Shamrock to just be sheer fragging or time wasting potential. But we already have a push already into showers. Seems to be Blitz is a recurring pick. Ash will be back in El Capital is in kitchen. It seems to be the opposite of the previous round. They've already taken a whole lot of map establishment, a lot of crossfiring being set up here. It's for sure rotation lockdowns is what it seems like, especially over white stairs and main stairs. You see 2 lanes being held. But there's still 2 minutes on the round. Hatches were dropped, as we saw Shamrock struggle a little bit with dropping hatch in attic. It doesn't mean that the rotations are completely locked down, but we see the Fuser and Thermite watching over bedroom here, looking to see as to, or now it's Lobby running on in.
ooh, we'll see the Aygo pick up a kill onto the Maverick, and that's going to be a lot of high breach downers. He's probably your go-to source to get at least one of these hatches, and for some reason we're seeing Blitz on site. He isn't pushing out the Raymond. He's just gonna, and that's very unlucky for Maverick and that Maverick Maestro, as he'll go down to the Blitz. He was just on his cams and Blitz just rushed him, and lucky he's gonna pick up a kill onto 1. And this Blitz is acting a lot like a Monty for some reason, just standing there and drawing out the shots. And they didn't really use the Blitz to create a lot of pushing power. Jaeger's getting taken down by the Ash, who was at the top of launch. It's all up to the smoke of, I believe, Sky Ivan. 1v4. He'll see the Blitz, gets flashed, and he'll probably go down anytime soon. Yes, he does, to the Blitz, hip fire. And that's Nessus Gaming. A very convincing launch retake. As it looked to be a very... They had problems clearing the Raimers, and they just pushed the Blitz down the stairs and dealt with the site players, forcing the Raimers back. It was very good flank watch from Nessus.
Absolutely, it was a lot of map establishment very early on, watching the rotations, watching the flanks, and Blitz got downstairs, and it seemed to be, I think you were absolutely correct in saying it was a Monty, but not only because a Monty you can kind of disregard at least a little bit in terms of, you know, that a Blitz can straight sprint on in, flash you, and then if you don't have anyone there to back you up, or if you didn't get the knife off in time, it's kind of a downhill battle. However, with having the Blitz, Lucky kind of just stand there and then take advantage of the fact that Maestro isn't watching the cams right in front of him. It was an easy pick, and it was I think it was more of an intimidation factor. You don't exactly want to peek a Blitz as a Blitz can blind you. So I think it was an excellent push. It was a great take. The execution was very much so fluid. Nessus said, okay, we have the map portions that we want, and now we can push on the site. It doesn't seem as if they're prepared. And well, with the ban of Mira, of course, it's always known that it's a lack of information, because you know you can have a Black Eye, Yokai, Evil Eye all watching that stairs, but you know, a lot of people don't exactly check it unless they know the site is being pushed and generally find that information from someone who is playing that mirror and closet. So it seems as if they let their guard down right in front of them, and Nessus totally took advantage of the opportunity.
For sure. I did have a Maestro, which Maestro got killed on his cams, and that's probably not his fault. The way they set up that rotation was so the Blitz was able to see from the laundry. Just laundry sink, we call it. He was able to see the Maestro on his cams, and that's because they put the rotation on the left side. Now some teams do it differently, they put it on the left and on the right. But if they put it on the right side, that Blitz wouldn't be able to see that Maestro, and he would have been a lot safer, even if the wall was soft. The Blitz may not know who was actually there still, and wouldn't have got the easiest kill of his career onto the Maestro.
Absolutely, it's just very much unfortunate. It honestly, it could have been anyone else. It could have been Ash, it could have been Capitao to just push down, pre-fire smart through that rotation hole, and I think that pick would have still gotten. But very quickly, you already see Blitz up white stairs, are kind of droning him in. They know that they have someone in kids, and they have the utility to do so.
Alibi's trying to establish a crossbar here when the Blitz pushes in. So we'll see. So Fear pushing through the big window, pack a lot of damage, but that Alibi establishing the crossbar goes down to the Maverick, who is top of Armory stairs. And that's the first house shoot off the round. Blitz gets the kill on the Aygo. And that roam clear was a lot better than the first round. Or the first one looking at it down here.
Absolutely, it's an excellent effort to set up a crossfire, but was simply not enough. I think it was a little bit too far ranged, along with having too much distance between. Because the thing about a crossfire is you do want to have the teammate that you're crossfiring for have a crossfire for you, but just the position they were put in was disadvantageous. That is now the third player down for Aygo as they approach a 2v5 situation with still roughly a minute remaining. It's plenty of time. 2v5s are able to be pulled back, but a beauty will go down onto meeting hatch. Looks to be as the two remaining operators are still in full HP. Blitz is sitting at 1 HP, so the beauties get tossed right, or the Evil Eye shoots its lasers correctly. That's an easy down and an easy point there for eliminating off the predominant entry. But the same hatch that was being watched over previously, Blitz will be looking at. Thermite will be dropping. The diffuser is making its way downstairs. However, the elimination will go down. That is Maestro picking off Zofia and diffuser down on laundry stairs. So now that there is 30 seconds left, diffuser is currently not in Nessus Gaming's hands. The rotate was made. However, Maestro will be picked off. Smoke will get his first elimination of the round. Shotgun pumps, I believe, took down Thermite. Now it's a 2v1 with only Maverick and Capitao remaining. Smoke is still sitting with shotgun and will be eliminated from hatch.
So what happened there was, if their run game was a bit stronger, they had maybe not establish the crossfire, but they fell off, let's say, the top floor a bit easier. Just played a bit more passive, not trying to fight everyone up there. They took control of kitchen, let's say, and made them run clear kitchen. Waited about 20 seconds more, or one of them was still being alive. That round could have gone completely different. They just need that one person to stay alive, I think. I think that would have changed a lot of their problems.
I think it was a bit of a bold move for Maestro to hop over the rotation hole and kind of be in front of the hatch there. I don't know if it was a little bit of miscommunication, saying that all 5 bodies are in the back trying to push back. But with that many attackers still alive and involved in the round, and not all their utilities being used, you can at least assume that one of them will be trying to flank or rotate watch. And I feel like that was just not a good position to be in, because you are very much so exposed from laundry stairs, you are exposed from hatch. Any operator either place that was an easy pick. And I feel like that was unfortunately what the Smoke needed up front because he seems more capable to take out the operators pushing from behind, but not be able to rotate and contest the front.
For sure, and we're going to look at the attacking lineup right here. They've got a thinker instead of the blitz, and I don't know how I feel about this because blitz the last 2 rounds has done a lot of work for them. I think thinker does roughly the same job, just in a different way. She allows other operators such as your Maverick and IQ maybe, who are the more the fragging operators. Maverick still has that hard reach potential, but on a site like Kids, he's going to really be used as much as the laundry site. It allows them to frag a bit better because they have that extra ATS speed, I believe reload speed now, and a bit of extra HP as well. So,
saying the nades can be more so utilized rather than having a shield to push them right in their face. You have a nade. And I am seeing some excellent cams from Nessus right now, watching oversight. So I don't know if we're going to see as many nades, especially floor nades, as we saw the last time we casted from Yakuza. But it's just different utility that can be used differently in kind of the same manner. But here we see Finka Lucky already in small tower shooting through, seeing if he can get any easy picks on Kitchen. He at least now has the rotate, or at least the peek holes to stop any rotates and get any easy eliminations from lack of information. But IQ's there to kind of back him up, see if there's anything such as black eyes in the way of spotting them and selling out their positions. But I do like as to how the style Nessus is approaching their attacking rounds. It's not as if they're double stacked or triple stacked on one another, but they are still very much so in the vicinity of crossfires and of supporting or refragging in a manner that needed. Speaking of which, a first elimination will go down and Maverick falls. I believe that was to the Jaeger, or was that to the Valkyrie? But
yeah, it
Jaeger
was the Valkyrie in armor who actually dropped right to a flank. Garage gets killed by the Thinker before Webby on the mute gets the kill on Capital, and Capital, a lot of utility on him now being taken off the board. It's going to be big. We see Shamrock actually flanking here from Laundry. And this is something a lot of EU teams do in a league, I'm not going to state the league, but a league that Aygo play in. They like to play someone very passively in Laundry and then flank up late. And we're seeing it here now with Shamrock. He's going to look to flank his armor stairs because no Nomad are out of these 5 operators, so they have to physically watch flanks or put Claymore down.
I think they did have a drone that was just able to spot him. The pre-fire will go down, shots will be exchanged, and he will be punished. I did think I saw a drone being watched from the main lobby door, so kind of a miscalculation for the push there. But now it's a 1v3. Finka very much so on low health, pre-firing over to white stairs. They still have Evil Eyes, they still have Goo Mines down. So as long as the Metro doesn't get over sumptuous with peeking, the defenders will take out the round.
Sure, and maybe with a good, I think it was 2 or 3k that there. I'm not too sure how any of them shots landed, but we won't question it. And it's 2-2 going into the 5th round. And according to the stats which came out last season, I believe this is the Pro League, obviously, so it's not going to be accurately represented in AG, obviously, but Oregon is the most balanced map in terms of attackers and defenders. So this is the one map you expect to come out maybe 3-3 on, and you're fine with that.
Is it really? I actually didn't have the opportunity to take a peek at it. I believe it was originally at Coastline where they came out.
It was Coastline a couple of seasons back, yes. I believe it was Villa and Clubhouse at the back end where they're mostly defender favoured, and I believe it was, I want to say, Consulate and Oregon, which were the top 2.
Okay,
that might be.
That does make sense.
I know Oregon was the top. I remember distinctly thinking that that's a bit odd, in my opinion, because there's 2 very good sites, and then you have the other 2 off sites. But no, I think that was the stat which came out. But we're going to see a rear stage hold here, and their rear stage hold was really good, put it that way. I mean, they didn't allow attackers to take any map control, not that attackers tried to, but
It seemed as if Nessus didn't exactly know as to how they wanted to push and how they wanted to counter the strat being presented. It seems as if they were just kind of staring at a rock in a hard place and didn't know how to approach. They still are possessing the IQ, so the yokais can get spotted. Jammers, black eyes, they can all get spotted. They did bring a buck this time, and they no longer have a blitz and a finca. So I wonder if they're trying to be a little bit more nade oriented along with soft destruction here, and if we're gonna see a little bit of the repel battles on T3 again. That was kind of monumental and early picks for Nessus losing their, I think it was Capitao and Maverick, the same fashions. We're seeing those two operators get picked off a little early in the round before their full potential of their utility gets used, besides when the plant was going down in laundry.
For sure, and something I've noticed about Aygo's sort of composition all the time, they have a different player playing every role, like every round. So we saw, I believe it was Scott Ivan on the smoke one round. Now Shamrock on that similar kind of role with the SMG-11 and shotgun. Valkyrie was switched between operators as well. We see the Valkyrie actually go down to the buck, and it shows the flexibility of Aygo, I think.
Absolutely, being fluid and switching up, especially if you're not comfortable with the sight. Speaking of which, as the Valkyrie down and now Buck, that was a refrag from the Echo, and seeing as to how roles can be switched, especially per site, if a fragger's not comfortable with that site. But then the second elimination will go down, and that's the Echo. That is now making the yokais the cams for the site rather than the plant defusal. Here we have Thermite T3 dropping down onto B site. I believe they have full control here.
They do, and I'm not too sure why Thermite came out T3 and all that. Capitau's up there, but C4 comes out from the news. Knows that plant, but they're going to go for another plant now. And they don't have any plant anymore. Shamrock picks up a second though onto the Capitao as he pushes up main stairs. I don't think they know where exactly the diffuser went down. I see the Maverick to the right and IQ to his left. Maverick's going to pick up one there. And they're all bottlenecking themselves up these main stairs right now.
It's a hard retake. They're going to have to keep on pushing. Jaeger is insanely low on HP. I think they've discovered as to where the diffusers...
Shamrock with a 1v4. I mean, he denied the plant. He got another when they were planting. And he got 2 kills post-plant. I mean, Shamrock saving that round for Aygo. Sorry to cut you off, but...
No, that's no worries. Take control of it. Curry was sitting at such a low HP, he didn't exactly have the HP advantage to keep on peeking as Shamrock did, and all the shots seem to kind of be landing in the way of Aygo. Now, it was an excellent retake. It seems as if the strat was countered by Nessus as they were able to get the diffuser down. And I'm not going to say with ease because of the fact that Shamrock did toss out the nitro, eliminating the thermite off in the midst of actually planting. But they did have T3 and B-site control ultimately. I mean, if they took a little bit more time to set up crossfires and whatnot, I think that would have been even harder for a retake. But I think that was an excellent push. I think it was a good analysis by the Jaeger to not be as bold or as aggressive as the Mutes, but it ultimately did pan out, and it was great angle play, especially for tagging the IQ, injuring her around the actual bomb itself, and then it was a good push along with the pre-fire onto the last remaining member of Nessus.
For sure. I want to say so we saw the Capitao when the first diffuser was going down, I believe. He was on T3. Now, he was pre-firing the attic, while there was a Maverick who had a better angle than the Capitao onto attic. What you want if you're on T3 is you usually need to be watching the stairs. Now, if he is watching the stairs, Shamrock doesn't get the C4 off because he dies before he gets detonated. And that right there is your round. So, not to put all the blame on Capitao, obviously, but if he had watched different angles of Maverick and him both watching the same angle, that potentially could have won them the round, and we could be looking at 3-2 in favour of them.
Yes, when you're picking out crossfires such as that, especially when the diffuser is going down, you want to make sure you have as much, angles being covered. I mean, if if there's one angle not being covered and it gets used and abused, it is ultimately up to whoever could have covered its fault. At least in my opinion of an IGL, if you have an angle that's soft, it's the same thing with if you are a defender. That is a part of your strat that is soft, that is weak, and is not being covered, and it should have been approached the same exact way as the rest. And it seems as if Shamrock 4K abused those stairs, and they were able to hold out him and Curry.
Here we see a west side take by looks. It looks like we have 3 people on the side. We have Mute playing aggressively on the launch stairs. Not too sure where the Legion is. But I know that Jaeger's running around by showers and bathroom, just being a bit of a nuisance. So they're kind of, I think they fell off this. Oh, Shamrock actually playing upstairs, and the kids gets killed after the blitz, and that's big. But what I was saying is, as the Jaeger goes down, the Jaeger was playing downstairs and caused a bit more of a nuisance than both of them playing upstairs, because they have 2 different rooms to clear separately. And it becomes a lot harder then. But with that Jaeger going down, they only have the Legion to clear. Not too sure where that Legion is sitting currently. But he did kill the Blitz, which is their main pushing power.
Absolutely. Blitz being off the board is monumentous in terms of ground coverage capabilities. Legion is off-site. They still have to roam clear a certain facility. He removes the thermite charge. I don't know if he's going to be resuscitating it to yet another hatch, but it's still a 4v4. Maverick will be burning the main hatch to watch over closet and the plant. I'm gonna guess that they're gonna go for a laundry plant here, but with having individual roamers and it's still somewhat in the same vicinity, that they can kind of back each other up if they have the time to run up white stairs or anything of that sort. You are now splitting the attacking team into more and more teams of people who are roam clearing. But another elimination will go down. That's the smoke. That's a huge amount of plant defusal. And that smoke player was the last one to, or for the last time we saw this round, really was able to kind of pull it in favor, or not in favor exactly of defenders, but at least, carry on some momentum throughout the round. But now we see a 2v4 as Legion falls, and it's in favor of Nessus. Now there's only one operator that's not 100 HP, that's Capital. He's looking at 3/4. Thermite will eliminate the 4th player, and the 5th, that is gone now another round for Nessus on Laundry Supply. It seems as if this site is not fanning out for Aygo.
For sure. I'll just like to point out this is Nessus's map. Our next map will be Villa. But no, this is Nessus's map pick. So you would expect them to be very good on this map, which it looks like they are. I think their takes of Big Tower could use a lot of work, but for sure, they have their launch tech down. They were very good at clearing the roamers. They cleared the one in the middle floor, kitchen area, very well. But they just held the angle on the Legion, which was very smart, because I feel like they kind of knew that the Legion was going to get very aggressive when trying to come back to site, and they just held the angle. It worked. They got the kill on the returning Legion. I'm not too sure why Smoke was playing the back mirror, not the front. Normally you want your Smoke playing the front mirror, obviously, because he has them 3 smoke canisters, which do a lot more denying the laundry take than it does a back take. That's just my 2 cents, but I feel like that I'm right there. But
absolutely, it's a little bit harder for Smoke to toss a canister all the way from supply back into laundry. I mean, in the fact that they don't have any black mirrors set up to kind of watch over. Maestro being in closet was a little bit disadvantage when it came down to when you need to actually pull up the cams. But I think I wholeheartedly agree with you there.
So we're going to see our best friend, the yellow shotgun, and I imagine she'll be playing Armory. Actually no, you're going to see a Jaeger playing Armory, so I wonder where the yellow shotgun's going to play. You're going to see a Kai either of a Mute or Bandit as well, which is interesting.
And I think we're going to see Venka, the Legion, try to go for the strat where you toss an impact underneath the reinforcements to counter the thermite charge, because its damage it is splashed enough to eliminate it. Oh yes, yeah, you can toss an impact underneath that wall, and it will cause you damage. But if you hit I think it's the metal bar on the floor, it does enough splash damage to destroy the thermite charge. I think the person who made that video clip go viral was Coconut. Coconut Bro?
Okay.
Coconut? Yeah, Coconut.
Oh,
I think
okay.
he's a DG. Yeah. So I don't know if they're trying to go through that strat, but I mean it's a good counter if you lose your Kayet charge. But here we see repelling up on kids. Buck will send out one nade. This is where Ella's shotgun is most. Yes, I was gonna say. Speaking of which, I think they do have a drone. It seems to be watching over the left one window. Pre-fires will go out. Shots exchange. Really no HP lost.
There we go.
And there we go. An A-style reckoning with a 12 gauge.
So great. That I don't think he would have got that kill if he had jumped out or not. So that's just a great angle play really by him. We'll see Webby get the refrag onto the Valkyrie. Also, Legion are very low. That might have been from, of course, denying the wall, but it looks like it's from White actually. So
It's the same with Ella preoccupied watching on the windows. They don't exactly have that cover fire.
With the SMG 11, no, SMG, so say. Which
and here we see Shamrock trying to push up White. A flashbang, well, will be sent out. As although Aygo has all these holes in the floor, or sorry, it's Nessus has all these holes in the floor. They're not exactly watching over them. They kind of place them there, but they're not watching over bottom White as Ash is kind of, you know, he, of course, rotating out. Shamrock rotated out, was able to go up it uncontested, exactly, but repelled up on the connecting window. That is a great elimination. I think that was the Cade off the board. So now sitting at 2v3, 1v3 with a Legion very low HP, being the only alive member for Nessus. Now he does get one elimination, and there's a TK. It's now a 1v1. 15 seconds left for the Jackal. Both sitting at relatively low HP. One shot will eliminate both operators. We are now coming into the last 10 seconds. A Trackle will go down. It's just up to who can pre-fire smarter. The AR is going out, and Aygo will get the round.
that was very lucky. If that wasn't a Jackal, that would almost certainly be a round lost. I think for Aygo.
Absolutely, I think that was a really smart recession by. Is that cute heel girl? Heel girl. I don't want to say that name. For Trackling, especially because Trackles only take. I just call it Trackle just to shorten it up. It only take 2 seconds to really go down. I think that was a great like breathe in, breathe out moment. Use my utility, and then pre-fire smart, because the Legion's getting marked. You're not getting marked, so it already gives you an advantage. There was the slight HP advantage, but when it's that low versus another operator that again is that low, it just boils out to whoever can get the shot off. I think that was an excellent pre-fire and a good use of utility to pull it out for Aygo there. Now it's sitting in 4-3.
It was, and we're going to see a laundry supply room, and they knew how to attack it. Do they know how to defend it is the question. You're going to see a Legion, Jaeger, Maestro, Mute, and a Caveira is the last.
Okay, so we have the Sneaky Witch for Nessus Gaming being pulled out. I'm gonna guess that's just going to be for if you can get an Antero off, but predominantly for time wasting on Aygo. Now they still have the Jackal for the attacking lineup, so that could be a direct counter. But of course, with the shoddy, with the pistol, with the pistol, with the shoddy, I always feel two people need to roam clear a Caveira. It's just not fun, especially with, you know, it was called a nerf when that pistol was nerfed from 99 to 67, but it's still a 2-shot, and they just increased the range of it. So here we see her playing in showers. Lucky will be utilizing the operator.
Now
I don't know if Jaeger's gonna be backing up. I see he's all the way back by what looks to be almost lobby stairs. Yeah, he's on main stairs, laundry stairs now.
So from Sky Ivan is extremely low. I'm not too sure where from, but from VOD review, I know, or not VOD, but VOD I've watched, I know that Aygo loves to take this big tower as part of their starting take. and Nessus not playing in meeting at all will Aygo so much, because they love rushing in. They will ignore the west side unless they really have to, and they'll go for a backside take normally. They sometimes rotate for a front side. Most of the time
Absolutely,
they don't.
and they already have control of a huge portion of the map. There was 3 operators that breached into tower. Now they have control of meeting. So now the roamers want to clear off each other. And that is the thermite off the board. There's still hard breaching capabilities for Aygo, but what a huge pick. And Buck sitting at 5 health again. I have no idea as to why.
Sky
You still have soft breaching.
Showers as well.
Oh, was it a close wall bang or?
No. He didn't drone it. He droned into showers and missed the last 2 stalls. He turned around, and the Cav was sat in that last right stall.
Oh, so he's gonna be. That Cav is gonna go for the.
So if Cav wins this round, I imagine Sky Ivan will get torched by their coach. So we'll see Aygo go down, just not taken out yet by one of the attackers. Not too sure who got the down. But he's probably going to get picked up, and Cav's going to go for this flank. Here we go.
She's in the.
This is the Maverick, and Maverick goes down. Screen. Doesn't get the interrogation, but they now know where she is.
It's now sitting still, almost pretty evenly. They were able to recover Jaeger as soon as I say that. He gets eliminated off. There's still an electric room peeking back and forth. Jackal will go down. That's another body lost to the witch. So now it is a 1v4 in the way of Nessus. There's 15 seconds left. It's a rock and a hard place. Do you push sight or do you push the roamer? Agumai will go off. He does get the elimination. Now it's only a 3v1, 2 eliminations, but will ultimately be lost.
To the cow.
Yeah, so that's 3 bodies.
That round came down to poor droning. Or no, not poor droning, lazy droning. Because they droned very well to establish the meeting control, big tower control, all the control. But they were lazy when they got to the end of their droning by missing the 2 stalls in showers. Now, to some people that might be alright, well, if it's once. But that can cost you games. Imagine if this was 7-7, match point, series point, and you just lost that to a shoddy droning.
Yeah, and there was no rotation drones set up. There was no flank drones. That's really the biggest thing. When you have a Maverick watching Hatch and he's the only person by himself in Hatch. Now, I didn't know if Caveira ever got actually drones in the preparation phase, so I don't know if they actually even knew a Caveira was amongst the midst of the defensive lineup. Speaking of which, being brought again in Kid Storms, you should have a flank drone. You should have absolutely some coverage for your poor Maverick, because if there was some greed there and Caveira decides to long arm that Maverick in Taro, I mean, there's a chance she could have gotten eliminated from bunker, but that could have been an interrogation, got off easily. I mean, the defensive round, the round did still go into the way of the defensive team, but that could have been over quite briskly with some smart free fires and the equivalence of a lion getting stabbed in someone's throat. So I think it was a lot of patience there being shown, and I think it was just overall smart play.
Just a quick score update on some of the games going on. We have Silex Bravo beating Red Lion Clan 2-0, 7-0 first map, second map. I also believe that Let's Fits Gaming did win the first map in their game. Not too sure who it was against, in all honesty. But they did win that first game. Or first map. So they're on to second map. So scores coming in slowly but surely. But back to this game. It's going to be Lucky with another Cav kill. On Sky. The irony there is uncanny. The fact that Sky was the one to miss the drone, or missed the Cav last round. First to go down in this round, and that's nades and a lot of soft destruction off the board.
Absolutely, that's nades, that's soft destruction. They do not have a buck. They swapped it out for the sledge, and it just did not fan out. So now you have Thermite with the diffuser kind of repelled right in front of this Cav. If they had a black eye cam like they've been usually rocking Valkyrie, that would have been another easy pick in the diffuser down outside of tower. But the second elimination will go down, and it's the Ash off the board for Aygo. I believe that was Echo who got the pick on that. But here we see Jaeger down in shower hallway at the bottom of white, not getting the opportunity to get those eliminations as Echo is landing all the shots. But Maverick and Thermite really worried about this Cav, and they should be, because now it's a 1v5. Curryman, he has possession of the diffuser and 100 HP,
so we've established that, I'm not sure which lucky, because there is two luckies, but one of the luckies loves semi-automatic shotguns. He was playing Ella the first round maybe, played Cav the last 2 rounds. So
I can see why. I
think that's something to look into for future teams playing these guys. You want to bang one of them.
So Carry's usually banned in teams that don't have a whole lot of cooperation in roam clearing and comms, and it seems to be falling apart just a little bit for Aygo as we approach the last 30 seconds of this round. Now Echo is tagged considerably, and I believe that was
Legion got the kill.
Yeah, Legion's gonna get the kill.
Once again, it was the Cav wasting time on Big Tower this round. It was Cav who flanked last round, which won them the round. So it's kind of like you need to do something about this Cav, or just automatic shotgun in general, I feel like.
Yeah, it's one of those you're kind of just figure out as to how you're going to approach her, and without having that in your head, because very much so, Cav is the epitome of roaming, is the epitome of time clearing, is the epitome of flanking, making smart rotates, having impacts, shoddy, the pistol with the interrogation. Because not only if you let your guard down is that a member lost for your team, or a couple, but then there's the interrogation, and then that goes against the remaining members of your team. You need to figure out as to how you want to counter her.
Can we get confirmation? Is that a Frost shotgun? Or it's the Sniper 90 coming out, isn't it? It's not a Sniper anymore.
I think the Sniper 90's coming out. I think, I don't know if we're saying the name right, Luckin.
Yeah.
Because with the N at the end, so I just been saying Lucky because it rolls off a little easier. That's Lucky K. But then I hope we're seeing the Super 90 go off, because that is, it still has potential, and especially at this close proximity of the site.
And I imagine a Frost if we'll be playing showers, and because that's where you want a shotgun. You know, so you want to be in showers, and I really want someone just to check if it's Super 90, but we'll see a pretty standard attack. But looks like they're going to go for a small tower take. Small tower take, you don't need a lot of map coverage, you just need to get the small tower, get it open, take showers, establish a cross angle, maybe put someone on the dining door, and then that's your map coverage done.
And they don't have a bandit or a mute to counter the Thermite play here, and with the castle watching over the hallway, so I mean that's kind of free reign in that site without having any players really in small tower, or ensuring the hop out from bathrooms onto the door there. But you'll see a little bit of torching going down. Glaz, having a thermal sight, can see just a little bit more. The pixels can be quite opportunistic when they're bright orange. But Shamrocks will get the first kill. That is the castle off the board. Not a huge pick for the attacking team, but the main wall will go down. So now that they have an entryway into sight, Glaz marking where smoke is. I'm sure that they have a drone. The comms seem to be quite clear here. A lot of crossfires coming from the defending team, but it's the plant will be going down. I don't know if they will go out in just enough time to really stop this. Jaeger will be pre-firing through the wall, and it will go down. Frost is suffering some damage. The Frost is using SMG, not Super 90. Speaking of which, will go down and fall, I believe, to the burnt holes in the bottom of the castle, actually ending up playing against a defending team. Now it's a 2v4 in the way for Nessus. Jaeger is tagged out for a half health. Glaz is off the board, so no more smokes, or at least no more thermal. Echo will get another kill, so 2v3. This is retakeable, however, that is another body loss. Echo getting another kill for the round. Not only is in a 1v2 situation, pushing on in the small tower, he spots a leg. That is another operator falling down, free firing it down. He's gonna run out.
Shamrock gets the kill.
And what a close round there.
I mean, the immediate thing that jumped out to me about why that defense failed was they only really had the Echo intel-wise. They had no Valkyrie. I don't think they had a bulletproof cam. They didn't have a Maestro. They didn't. They had no holes in the wall by Couch, which would have made that defense 10 times easier because they didn't. Because the attackers did not take shower control one bit. They never had to, because there was no holes in the wall. They didn't need to take showers because the Jaeger wasn't able to light the back showers and see the breach and deny the entry. So that's, I always faulted there from the setup.
In terms of taking a site and really pushing it and trying to get the diffuser down, that looked to be one of the easiest takes to do it. That looked to be a very, very easy just take onto a site. I mean, no one's stopping my thermite charge from going down. Let me blow open this wall. Maverick, burn a hole in the bottom of that castle. Don't destroy the castle. Don't allow the rotate. Just give me the angle to shoot ankles and eliminate Frost later on in the round. Smoke, able to get the Toxic Babe out, but not shortly after being eliminated, and that is only one of the canisters going down. Echo, getting a lot of eliminations behind that ACOG. That was such a valiant effort behind
My question is, where was the Echo for the first 5 seconds of that plan, and while he was running up? Because
did the attacking team have an IQ?
They run out. Just misses the head of someone. I'm not too sure who, but nearly comes to the head of someone, and I believe they did. However, I didn't see an Echo drone go down. It might have. I might have just not heard it. I didn't hear the pistol of the IQ go off enough.
Absolutely. I'm not gonna, dig too deep into it, but yeah, it didn't seem as if any of the plant diffusal really got used to diffuse the plant, and it was just an easy take there. Pretty standard tank. We didn't really see, huge amount of strats coming from that site. It seemed pretty almost ranked like, hold there, and there was a huge punishment for not having, almost the correct lineup or what seems to be the most opportunistic lineup. But again, a lot of land establishment already making. Glaz is watching through attic. It seems as if Aygo prefers taking their attack rounds by tower. Of course, Caveira was there as a direct counter to that in the previous rounds, but Shamrocks is here in garage watching to make sure his 3 teammates are able to get into meeting uncontested. Or at least, therefore, if he gets eliminated some way, somehow, the comms are there. You don't need to exactly set up a flank drone when you have a body in garage watching such an intense crossfire. Now Hatchet's
we'll see the Glaz go down to the Jaeger. Not too sure. I don't know why Glaz peeking that, but maybe a bit of a waste when you could have Glaz applying pressure somewhere else, like the back stairs, where it's a bit harder to challenge that angle, especially with your thermal sight. But
absolutely, because I mean, if they're going for a back push, they could have Ash stay in garage, be a flank watch. They could have Glaz on stairs just smoking it out as a distraction. Now, and
what the hell did he do to that hatch? Right. Something noticeable. Something I've noticed. Something I've noticed about that flank watch was when they played on Wednesday, they had the Maverick watching that flank, and now they have the Ash. So again, it shows how versatile they are and switching roles. Because we'll see, last time I saw Maverick was doing that. He was the flank watch, now it's the Ash doing the flank watching. Obviously Shamrock, 2 big kills coming down the main stairs. And he's turned from a flank watch to an all-out gunner. Skyhaven, that's the money going down to the hands of the Legion before Kai gets one before Shamrock refrag defuses in the backside. Shamrock's going for the ace right now. There's 4 on his side. The Shamrock will get the ace with the pistol. Great push from the laundry side. And Shamrock there going ham. And he's showing why is the Ash main on the team.
That Port Cayette was put in a situation where there's not a whole lot of cover. It was in the last 7 seconds of the round that he was ultimately eliminated with 2 bodies remaining for Aygo to push him. But now we move on to match point in the way 6-5 for Aygo. I think with losing a glass, they were still able to pull that round.
Yeah, can I get something like anywhere to at me, tweet me, put it in chat or somewhere? How quick was the ace from the first kill to the last? That felt very quick. It had to be a space like 15 seconds.
It was that was body for body. That was very much so. That was
a hell of an ace. I imagine I'll see it on Twitter from his perspective at some point. But that was a hell of an ace.
I think it was an excellent push. It took advantage of the chaos of the round while simultaneously ensuing said chaos. So many bodies were going back and forth. The kill feed looked to be just a mishmash of colors, blue and orange, but ultimately all the ones that led with orange were of the Ash of Shamrock, and I think it was a great push. They established lane dominance pretty early on into the round. They had tower, they had meeting, they had essentially lobby, and they orchestrated all of it, I think, pretty perfectly there.
For sure, and we're gonna see the shotgun come out once again.
From Lucky, the man, the myth, the shoddy. I don't know if it's gonna play as the same if Buck is gonna be lost to that left side window again, especially now that there is a castle barricade on which, but I don't know if Shamrock's gonna go for the white stairs, as that wasn't being watched as much as the other portions of the site, even with the floor banging capabilities of the actual soft destruction that they had presented to them. But again, with the theme of tower, you already see Maverick droning out along with another teammate droning out. Large tower here. It looks to be, where they're going to push from. Another angle is small tower, showers, kitchen is the theme of how Aygo was pushing the site, along with Nessus for the early rounds as well. But honestly, just a whole lot of droning, a whole lot of intel going down. The comms seem to be pretty clear for both teams. But Curry it looks to be almost by himself with the diffuser. I don't know if he's going to try to regroup with another teammate. It's going to be a lot of angle play, a lot of locking down sites. So opening up those castles, having Ash here, Shamrock watching over pantry, just in case there's a rotate from meeting. He's going to try to get any floor bang. Barely misses. I think that was the Legion sitting in dorms. But it seems to be kind of the same style. You put him in garage, put him in kitchen, flanks watch, but Jaeger's gonna be playing on main stairs with a reinforcement in bedroom. Twitch shots are gonna go a little bit back and forth. The drones are gonna keep on marking him as a kind of a distraction, but now that is armory and main stairs uncontested. But Lucky's downstairs with the yellow shoddy. I think he may have rotated down either through hatch or through white stairs, but that is the first elimination to go down on the round. Immediately
a victim.
Another elimination. They said Shamrocks, you're not getting the ace again, so that's the Ash and Elysian off the board for both teams. There's still a minute left, plenty of time to kind of play with. The droning and the information gathering has been seems to be excellent so far for Aygo. Now it's going to be falling upon the actual execution itself. Now Jaeger rotated all the way from bedroom to the top of white stairs with having Lucky's Ella shotgun watching the bottom of it just in case the push there is too aggressive, setting up a good cross play with Castle there, speaking of which Maverick will be eliminating the Pulse off the board. The Diffuser will be going down. That is Curryman planting it. Buck will be watching over. That's Jaeger falling. And now it's up to the Castle and the Ella. Speaking of which, the
Castle.
Ella will fall. So now it's a
1v3.
1v3.
Yep. Diffuser going down. Castle's going to try to deny this. He's going to go down to cute head heel girl. Don't like saying that name still. And Aygo. They're going to take map 1 and other good. This was Nessus' map pick. And they win at 5-7. Just a quick score update also before we leave you. Let's Flex Gaming in Group B just beat Rook Duck 7-2-7-1. And we'll flash scoreboard quickly. Shamrock on 17 kills. And he had one hell of a day. Yeah. Alright, we'll be back next map on Villa, ladies and gentlemen. Oh.
Enemy spot.
Well, guys, we are back for the second map. I'm your caster, Rider Striker, still joined by NSO Cash.
Hello,
And
hello.
we're going to be on Villa, and first map went 7-5 in favour of Aygo on Nessus's pick. So I'm interested to see how this plays out, and that's going to be a Monty ban from Nessus. Start us off.
Absolutely. I feel the last match definitely highlighted the fact that it was just not sheer utter domination from one team to another. It was for sure, and we see both shields fall off. Honestly, I think this is how the game should be in general, but that's just my opinion. But it was ultimately really evenly matched between the two teams. It seemed to be as there was adaptability from both. There was strats from both. The styles were clear, were very clear, and learning the opponent's style while also maintaining your own, I think is a huge thing. But Shamrock being back, that is a Vigil ban. And
I mean, they've just banned the Vigil.
Oh, did they? Okay.
No, never mind. I did
Yeah,
not.
I was to say I think it was,
Alright.
but
I think Orange team is starting an attack, so yes, they did just ban Vigil. Which is interesting.
so I don't think the cog was really appreciated for how much damage it did with Echo. Vigil, I mean, we saw the roam clearing capabilities. Both teams suffered and were good at it last game. And,
However,
well, I don't think they want to deal with shields.
this does mean Mirror is in play. And now, Mirror, on this map, changes the entire map. Because that makes so many more strats you can use with Mirror on this map. Which, it makes an already defense-favoured map even more defense-favoured.
Absolutely. As I was
So-
trying to kind of accustom to the Black Mirrors, our information, I mean, it's just so much provided by them.
For sure, and we're going to see a NA shotgun, I imagine. I didn't know we were casting NA still. But no, it's the Ella shotgun, and it's going to be a... which I can't feel exactly what site it is.
And we see Lucky, the return of the Ella Shoddy. Already
They're playing
up to
hitching
that.
and running as their first site.
I do like this site a lot. I like to see what strats get pulled out of it. I like to see as to, what the roamers decide to do. Drop hatch and laundry, keep it open. Just overall, how this site plays out, I feel like judges really how the style of the team plays.
For sure. And last game, should I say, we actually saw a Villa on the second map, same as this. And we actually saw Living Room Library be the most played site, or most successful site, should I say. I think it was played 4 times, won 3 out of the 4. So
Yes.
interested to see if that happens again.
And so it doesn't look to be too heavy of a presence defense-wise upstairs. We do see, I think it was 3 or 4 bodies are already rappelling up outside a bedroom, bathroom area. Really, the droning of the match thus far has been monumentous. There has been some times where a drone here and there could have been a little bit more of support, but overall, it's just been showing that the information is ultimately what the team needs to make a smart push.
For sure.
Caveira was very much so evidence of this, and Lucky in his shoddy. But the attacking team already making a lot of ground. Now they do spot Jaeger on main stairs. It seems to be as if he's the only defensive operator there to contest, but two bodies are already in the way of pushing Shamrock with the R4. Now Ella posted with the shoddy, sitting there in I believe that's gaming, already across the hall. So I don't know if it's going to be another patient play that we see to hold that position until they decide to push it. It seems to be speaking of drones, almost not enough covering that portions of the site, as there's a potential to lose a Glaz right now. Glaz was previously watching. I think they 100% ignored her.
There we go.
So speaking of drones, yep.
That's 2 kills out of shotgun, and that should be the round, really. They've lost 2 players. Ella's still ring 3. They have the top 4 control, and they still have the high breach of the Habana, but They have to really dig deep now to get this win.
Absolutely. I mean, you have your entry, and then you have your plant coverage off the board. It's still 35 minute left, plenty of time. Hard breacher, soft breacher, electronic destroyer. It's winnable. However, that Ella Shoddy is really the judge, jury, and executioner at times. And as we saw, ignorant droning was really the downfall of those two operators. That's two huge picks. I mean, an Ash and a Glaz. Ash not so much in the terms of utility, but in terms of usage. Now that will drop Lucky down to a quarter or less than a quarter health. However, still boldly sitting on the stairs, just really shouting, "Peek me, peek me," but without hearing a scream of an injure or a drone on it. The Ella seems to be continuing up, almost trading spots with a Habana as marks are going down. Habana will get the pick onto Jaeger, immediately refragged by the Bandit. Still now 4v2, 8 seconds left, 3v2 as the pick onto Legion is off. Now, both operators are sitting in considerable health. Now it's a 1v3, and defenders will pull it out.
Even I lost track of time there. Like, I think that round was a lot quicker than it felt. I think it was because Ella picked up 2 kills, and it sort of slow. The attackers took it really slow, even though that they didn't have a lot of time. And it kind of tripped me up as well. But that Ella shotgun there, it won them the round, let's face it. We were literally speaking 30 seconds before Ella got the 2 kills, how the drone, that first map was so good, apart from a couple of points.
I like that you said that, because I absolutely lost track of time as well. It seemed as if they got so much map dominance early on, uncontested, that it almost didn't seem to be an issue anymore.
Mm-hmm. We're going to see Ella shotgun go to a cow shotgun. So
it's pretty interchangeable. Those 12 gauges, semi-automatic, pump, whatever it may be. The semis seem to be more preferred here, but they punish. If you don't drone out those angles, spot the laser sight, or at least head check. But I think it's a great punishment. It's a very much so. This is a high-tiered game, and you can't afford to make those kind of mistakes.
Showing her trophy statue site now. I'm going to see a Legion, Bandit, Castle, Jaeger, and of course that Caviera, with the attacking side bringing out the no Thermite, which is interesting. They're having a Habana, Sledge, Thatcher, Jackal, and Ash.
The Jackal has played a monumentous role, I think, for Aygo, especially in their roam clearing. I don't think they want to have that incident happen again where they lose a Glaz and an Ash, so they're going to exchange it for a Jackal. And well, we're still seeing the presence of nades on the team. We still see Habana. I don't know if that is just more of a comfortable pick rather than a utilitarian pick.
I mean, we were seeing Thermite most, if not all, rounds from like Oregon. So, not too sure.
Absolutely, and without Mira being banned, this is still, I don't think we saw her last round, and we're not seeing her this round either. So a little bit of an interesting pick here. I don't know if the strats were situated around the assumption that she was going to be banned, so you didn't exactly want to modify them and throw off the presence of whatever strat is being there that held. But cute heel girl, Jackal sitting up the top. I don't know if they're going to try to go for the smoke that you can smoke out mid with from having the top of the border twist, as I think that was Farrell of the coach of G2 that demonstrated how huge. Yeah. So the first elimination will go down, and the second one immediately, that's 3v5 already with a minute 45. It's huge. Now there is a little bit of an HP exchange. As Jackal is sitting at what seems to be 5 health, the diffuser may be going down. Shots will be exchanged now, sitting at 2v3. Diffuser still going down by the Hibana of all operators, but Cab is still alive with 100 HP. Silent Walk will be eliminated. So now it's a 1v3, kind of a reverse roles of what happened last round. Bandit sitting here at 100 HP, as are the remaining 3 attacking operators of Aygo. It's still a winnable position in terms of recovery, but we're already witnessing half a diffuser time off the board. There's a play is going to have to occur. I don't know if he still has his nitro left or not. Habana Webbs is holding a hard angle and will complete the round.
Now, that was just Aygo going crack heavy and getting the wall open, running in and getting kills. Like there wasn't much to that. I don't think there was much intel coming out, especially the Echo being banned and then not playing the Maestro. Wasn't much info that the plant was going down.
Absolutely, I think you're right. It seemed to be a punishment, really, in sorts of ill preparation of those kind of pushes. And really, shot for shot, it seems as if all of them were connecting. It didn't seem to be as if we saw a whole lot of gunfights that didn't have, you know, a turn of event occur immediately after which. We had the 2 bodies get lost very early on. I think that was the Legion in the castle. And then from there on, if you lose that kind of manpower and they were the ones watching over trophy entrance, or the only ones watching the crossfire of trophy and statue, that gives the attacking team the ability to plant, which they did. I think it was a great analysis of a whole and taking advantage of an opportunity.
For sure, I'm going to send Evie a games here. And this is the first mirror of the day, because mirror was banned out, I believe, in all 3 maps in the first game, and banned out in the first map here, but going to be in play for this map, and we'll see it, I imagine, on the study wall. Indeed we do, and it's pretty standard mirror setup.
Absolutely, and if you'll take note, Vault is open, so I don't know if there's going to be heavy 90 play, especially with crossfires occurring from, say, 90 into trophy entrance, main stairs.
The problem I have with this hold, and there's a very easy counter to it, the Pillar 90 with a sledge. You're we said this in a previous broadcast, I believe, you're relying on the castle, a castle barricade, which is one of the easiest things to counter in the game, to hold the entire strat. And
Now
it's been on an outside window, and it's just been broke. I can heard it. There you go. And there you go. That's just ruined their entire strat now, because now the attackers have free rotation into Vault. They have the angle from the window. Cute Hill Girl will get the second, and that castle, I think, is just costing the round. And there's nothing more to be said, really.
As I say, it's already a 5v3 with still 2 minutes remaining on the round. I'm so happy that you said that as it was occurring. That was actually strat I used against you, and I had placed a castle charge there with the assumption that, you know, it would be enough to hold it. And really, it's sheer coverage, but Bandit getting a good refrag there. It's a 2v4 in the way of Aygo. Now, there's still 1:40 left, so they don't need to immediately make the push, but the pressure is absolutely on for the defenders, as one of them is sitting at roughly, I'll say 5 HP, that's very low HP. That is still 4 operators, nearly 100. That's another elimination. However, the immediate, I'll say, re-injure goes down, but it will still get closed out by the Habana of Aygo.
Now, that was a very quick round. Both of Aygo's attack wins so far have been very, very quick.
I don't think Nessus is exactly orchestrated for that kind of situation. They have excellent crossfires held up, but as soon as they kind of get eliminated, or, you know, the assumption that 90 is not going to, or Vault and 90 aren't going to be left wide open, that there's not a whole lot of rotates to kind of cover what someone was previously covering. It seems as if it's taking advantage of their comfort level in certain areas, and when you do that, I think that's when you can kind of see Aygo come to life. Especially their comfort level is where Nessus is uncomfortable. You know, these very tight situations, these very aggressive, chaotic.
Quick.
Yeah, say Shamrock looked at that and said, "I'm gonna ace during it." The smoke of last map, when it came down into a 2v5, was able to bring it down to 2v2. Unfortunately, not able to close out the round. But it's really where they're coming to life. While Nessus is, I don't know if cams or comms are getting confused. While cams aren't being utilized, but it's overall, you know, judgment of how the teams are playing and how it's going to pan out.
I feel like Nessus, they thrive more when they get the first pick, as Aygo don't need that first pick to go their way to still win the round. Because of how aggressive they play.
Absolutely. If they lose a body but gain a better position, that's really what they need, because it can come. These rounds, of course, coming down to 1v1s, and 2v5s are winnable. So it's all a judgment of how you play after that, how you recuperate the round.
Right, so we move on to the fourth round. And kitchen dining, this was very convincing last time the defenders went here, and see how they change. I want to see the jackal going down, or very low, one off the two.
And that's huge if they lose that, because that is their, besides droning, is their sole roam clearing utility there, and it's played a huge portion. Still alive, sitting at 1 HP. I have no idea how these situations keep happening. It's kind of like the buck that was sitting 5 HP, like by the time he got into tower last map. No clue as to how it occurred, but already sitting at 1 HP. Setting up, I really love this angle right here, because it's taking advantage of the fact that you have the cover of a castle. You are now using a defender's utility to watch a defender's rotate. So he may be able to get a pick off of Jaeger as the rotations are made, but Caveira is just kind of chilling. Seized.
Nope. He'll get the kill, but won't get the interrogation, as he rotates all the way back to the back stairs and looks to flank Astro potentially.
Absolutely, already one body down for Aygo. That is the roam clearing capabilities. Now there's still a minute 30 left off, but I think all in all, not a whole lot is being done. It doesn't seem as if the roamers have to kind of preoccupy. It kind of seems as if they're, taking their time themselves. I don't think they want to get Ella shottied in games again, but I believe that they have spotted out Lucky the Jaeger, and Shamrock will be making the push as Ash upstairs. It kind of seems as if they just switched exact positions, but the Habana webs, or let's say webbies, was able to close out that confrontation.
Got even also picking up one onto the bandit, and I've got 35 seconds left now, and it's a 3v4. And that Cav's still lurking at the bottom of red stairs. That could cause some issues if they don't clear out like now, and they have to give this slight take. Shamrock will see the body and get the kill onto the castle, and it's all up to the Cav and the Legion.
20 seconds
18
left
seconds
remaining
left,
in the round. You see the final push onto site. It's still sitting in a 4v2 scenario. Now the defenders are sitting at 100 HP, so the exchanges can go down, but the Caveira comes back to haunt. The diffuser is down, and Injure is down. That is 4 seconds left in the round. They don't really need to do much, so you can just sit pretty. However, the diffuser will be recuperated. Shy will be put down. It's probably not too far, and Cav closes it out. The operator of your nightmares came back to haunt you
again.
In terms of your roam clearing. They were able to eliminate Lucky the Jaeger, but not the Caveira.
And that just came down to not clearing the Caveira. That's that simple. That was great patience by the Cav. Wait until 0-0-0 to get the put the diffuser on the floor, meaning that even if she had got the kill, round would have ended no matter what. But she wasn't being able to get refragged like while they were running for the diffuser. So that's great patience by her, really. And we're gonna see a living room library hold here with an Ella shotgun, Jaeger, Legion, Bandit, and Maestro, I believe that was.
I honestly think the patience of the Caveira has been something that's been paying off round after round, as we see her really instrumental in the way of the last 30 seconds of the round being used. And right then and there, as soon as you have that diffuser down, and you know that they can't go exactly too far with it, that's a room, that's laundry right next to site. That's not a huge drop, that's not a huge risk you're taking by dropping a drone in bedroom. May have sufficed in making sure as to who has possession of diffuser enters in a fashion or in a situation where they have at least somewhat coverage or intel covering them. But I think that was huge. I think that was a great play.
For sure. And 2-2 going into the 5th round, and if Aygo get one more round on their attack, I think they could come away from this saying it's been a success. Because to take 3 rounds on Villa, an attack is really good, as it is one of the most defenders' favoured maps, as I said earlier.
Absolutely, we're going to, I believe that's living room.
Mm-hmm.
And it's with having such a broad site, I do want to see as to how Glass kind of plays out, because of the fact that you can smoke off half of it and then utilize it. But speaking of Glass, already sitting at a quarter health along with Ella, who I assumed is using the Shoddy because it's just so huge. They do spot another roamer who's going to push right up a little too aggressively, as that is the Ella falling down. It looks to be as Jaeger is playing 90 as they were in the previous round. Shamrock runs into game room to be an immediate counter. Excellent droning here, droning in the fraggers and roam clearing, so that's already one of which off the board, and they know the Jaeger is at least in the same vicinity of the initial push into the map here. But still, minute 45 left on the clock. You see the rotates going down main stairs, disposing of the evil eye. Again, you love to see how much utility is being spent and destroyed in these kind of first phases. But still a huge amount of bodies kind of tacked into one area here.
We'll actually see the bandit charge, because there's so many of the pellets right there. But Shamrock gets the kill on the bandit eventually. But there's a 3v5 with a minute left, and the Glass laying down his smoke looking for a pick. Won't fall in just yet. But he's now visible as the smoke has gone. Flashbang comes out. And Clash just lying on the floor right here. Looks quite lost, in my opinion.
A little bit, just prone in the middle of a doorway. I don't think anyone's going to expect someone with a thermal sight to do of which, but make sure we'll get a pick that is now the Ash off the board. Lucky making a opportunistic flank here from main stairs if he has the correct intel. However, I think he just got eliminated by the Thatcher, but Glaz running on into sight and closing out the round with eliminations.
That was a great take by Aygo. They cleared the Romans very efficiently. They had a good amount of time to push onto site. They had someone watching the flank, not maybe dedicated to watching it, but they stopped the flank from the Jaeger, which is all you need from a flank watch. And they executed really well onto the site. That Glaz, knowing that it was safe to push in once the who it was the Jaeger who went down, knowing that they were both on site, just pushes in, gets the kill on the Maestro as Keza gets the kill onto the remaining defender.
So yeah, I think Aygo kind of learned from their mistake of allowing a roamer to exist for too long and last second flanks. So it was an excellent kill onto the Jaeger, making sure that history did not repeat itself throughout the rounds. And honestly, I think that was a great take, especially on that room, using the X-Kairos in such a good angle play. Having Glaz prone in the middle of the site seemed to kind of just work. I think that overall that site is a little bit more defender oriented because of how large it is and how many angles need to be watched, how many entryways there are. But overall, I think that was a great take. A lot of information was going down, especially in the later seconds of the round, and it didn't even have to go to a plant in order to be closed out.
For sure. So we're going to see our last defense for Nessus here, and it will be of the Aviator site, which I want to say they lost. Yeah, they lost because of their castle strap revolving around the window. 90. Luckily, we'll see no castle. It'll be a pulse, and I imagine he'll be playing below, looking to deny the plant. So
Absolutely. So I believe this is the first presence of pulse we've seen this map thus far. I don't know how. Fathomably. I don't know how well it's going to be utilized all in all, I mean, I think it's gonna be great for information. I don't know if they're gonna go for that, the plant denial with the nitrocell. I think it might be safer because of how large the sites are and where the stairways are located. It might be safer just to have him as solely information based, saying as to what bodies are where, and then try to have him back up whatever roamer is getting pincered. But as you can already see, he's sitting in the living room, watching over both windows. Shamrock is repelled up on a window, trying to be his immediate counter onto 90 again. And it doesn't seem to be as if they stay with that same strat, but they're right there and there, and Legion will ultimately get the elimination. Now, he didn't come out of that fight with 100 HP, but he's still sitting in a comfortable position as 90 is secured. Ash is out of the way. They still have soft destruction, but they do know that the entry fragger is off the mark. Now, it looks to be as Ella's rotating downstairs. Jaeger is sitting in sight, watching over Aviator doorway, and there's still a minute 30, not a huge amount of map progression. I think they were kind of depending on that 90 take to be the go-to there, as it worked so well last time. So hard breaching X-Kyroses will go onto both walls, literally right next to this Ella. Speaking of which,
I don't think Ella needs Ella's shotgun anymore. She should pick up 2 kills with the SMG.
Very low HP. After you.
Yeah, okay. We see Sledge looking to push the landing here as he'll move his way into Aviator, and as when he's playing in Vault, Ella downs the Hibana, but Sky even picked up 1 and 2, I believe that was the Jaeger. As Sky is going to look to go for the res. Doesn't have diffuser, not too sure where the Ella is. We'll see the Ella and get a kill on the Ella as well. So it's now a 2v2 situation. A lot of health still in the health advantage still in the defender's hands here, but the pulse is also below. Legion's gonna get the kill onto the Habana. That's all up to the Sledge. She's gonna ace clutch this, I believe. As he won't, he'll get the kill. Oh, he'll get killed by the Legion, and we're tying up 3-3 on Villa. And I reckon Aygo should be happy with a 3-3 draw coming into half time on Villa.
I agree wholeheartedly. I think that round went pretty back and forth. I think it overall was still defender oriented, and I think they orchestrated their pushes cleanly. They still had I bite my tongue now as Pulse is still very much so alive and was not cleared. So if it came down to it, then that nitro could have denied the plant, and of course with the 7-second timer, it would have been easy if it was a floor bangable wall, but seemed to be body for body there, coming down to a 2v2. HP advantage was in defenders. I absolutely saw that, and I think utility just didn't go down until too late for the attacking team. It seemed to be a little bit of a flurry towards the end when they gained initial access to site by having Sledge push on in and take control of Vault.
For sure, I'm gonna see Aygo going to that first. Defense here, it's gonna be Trafe Statuary with a Maestro, Smoke, Castle, Valkyrie, and Jaeger. But I imagine they'll set up. Over in Aviator by the looks of it, as that's where the Valkyrie is reinforcing.
So I don't know as to how they're going to play, the position that they're putting themselves in. I think they don't want to be, picked off from 90 so well, so they're rocking kind of the same exact rotate heavy strat here. But I think from the plays that they used to gaming and Aviator's advantage, they're going to be doing just the same, to counter such a strong push, because at the beginning of the rounds, attackers really did take bedroom. They took such control of Trophy and Astrology, it was uncontested for the most part. It was when they started to cross over into the other areas is where they started to kind of meet more and more. But Lucky will be getting the tracking onto Valkyrie, who's 7 meters away, hops downstairs, safe rotate out. No shots were to counter each other, so looks to be that scan is going to be more information now for one of the roamers, rather than as to where to push. But now this has given them control over gaming and aviator, as there's no defending operators to kind of counter this. So you see two attackers already running on in. That is going to be the sledge and the jackal. Nessus. I don't know what's going on with this castle. Seems to take 3 instead of 1. But it's still an excellent amount of droning. They are going to get some shots exchanged from statue, none of which will connect. But again, a lot of map dominance early on into the round. Seems to be as we have defenders on site for the most part. I'm not seeing too much on the roaming. So again, another tracker will go down. That's going to be the castle. They now have control of 90. It's a huge advantage for the site, and in terms of rotate watching. But really, into the round, this is minute 30. No shots have been exchanged. HP is at 100 for all operators. You can see that south is the way for Nessus right now. So Shamrock's gonna be watching underneath from a hatch. The angle is a good angle, however, very much so hard to watch it. It's one of those that's you catch them off guard. But he looks to be as if he's trying to make a rotate. Now the first frag will go down. That's Valkyrie eliminating off the thermite. That's huge in terms of hard breaching, but a nitro will go down, eliminating yet another player. That's a sledge, but a refrag will occur, and that is Valkyrie down for the count. Now Webbs, the Maestro, will be watching over Trophy Corridor. He sees 2 heads. He has the potential for 2 eliminations here. 40 seconds is remaining down in the round. The Jackal will fall. That's Shamrock's Jaeger push. Second elimination. Now we're in a 1v4 in the way of Aygo. Now the Jaeger is sitting at considerably low HP. He'd be an easy elimination. 30 seconds, no possession of the diffuser, and it will be closed out.
And that was great time wasting by Aygo. They didn't play too aggressively. They fell off when they needed to. And the attackers stalled out very quickly after they had got their control of Study, Aviator, and that good stuff. And they also allowed Shamrock to flank by having 5 people pushing site and no one flank watching. And when Shamrock flanked, there were 2 bodies, 2 people dead. And my question is, where were the drones watching the flanks?
That's exactly what I was going to say. You spotted it right on the nose. I think, honestly, Shamrock didn't have to rotate all the way to that pair of stairs. He could have went up red, and 5 operators were lined up at one point. He could have gotten an ace with 1 magazine. It seemed to be as they were really comfortable with their clearing and really comfortable with the amount of map, a lot of ground that they had already covered. But they kind of left it behind them and blindly pushed forward, and they pretty much got sandwiched by a flank and great angle play from Webby's the Maestro. But returning back to this to kitchen, we see Aygo going. Now this site has, I think it's gone back and forth. One for the attacker. No, it's gone solely for the defenders as Caveira
touched it, yeah.
Yes, it seemed as if it could go in the way of the attackers the previous round, but that semi-shotty and a hatch was really all the combination you need for the clutch to occur, because I think it was also out-bodied 2v3 or 2v4. Interesting black eye cam to go into bedroom. Not really a checked area, but if IQ spots it, that's again utility off the board. But it seems to be as a little frustration is going to occur, kind of like as the sled tried to castle the previous round. Kind of may take a couple tries, but
sure.
Mute here is again gonna be pulled out. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, we're going to see, looks like a top floor clear. They've got the sledge, the Jackal, it's a soft destruction. Of course, Jackal also has capability to roamers. But it doesn't actually look like, apart from Shamrock, they have any roamers upstairs. So this should be a fairly easy clear for the attackers.
Actually, there may be some HP exchange, but you already see Jackal in bedroom. I think they're eliminating the black eye cam as they already spotted it. But with only 1 player to contest them upstairs, it seems to be as if they just have control over trophy, statue, astronomy, bedroom. That's a lot of vertical play, and they still have sledge on the board. Now marks are going to be going down for where the only roamer of Aygo is at, but it seems to be as if he drops. Now we have, instead of roam clearing, now we have flank coverage. It's a quick transformation between the two, but when you have control that fast and a minute 40 remaining in the round, a nitro cell will get tossed. Speaking of Sledge and a huge vertical play, that is him off the board. Now there's a minute 30, still a considerable amount of time. It looks to be as Valkyrie may get a second elimination as Twitch will pull out with roughly 5 HP. One excellent gunplay right there from Twitch, or at least a gunfight. To pull it out. So now we're even in terms of bodies, not even in way of HP, but using breaching charges, you can still make up for what the Sledge has been lost. A minute is remaining on the round. The Jaeger still exists, so there's the opportunity for a flank, and we know that the drone coverage was not 100% adequate for last round. Lucky will try to get the second trackle down for the round as he rotates down red stairway into the hallway, rotating back upstairs. Speaking of Jaeger, he comes back, and I believe that is Shamrock getting his second elimination. Now it's sitting at 2v4 for Twitch. That is the third elimination, 1v4. Thermite, 100 HP, has possession of Diffuser up against a Jaeger with quarter health. Now there's only 30 seconds left in the round. This is going to most likely go to an elimination with 4 bodies still remaining for Aygo. Now it doesn't seem as if they know exactly where this Thermite is. The shots will be exchanged. Some will go down. He will finally refrag his fallen teammates as Shamrock falls, but he's sitting now at 3/4 health with 10 seconds remaining on the round. He rushes on into Laundry, pushing on into sight. Traps will go off and shots will be exchanged, closing it out for Aygo, the Maestro.
So, once again, drones were not watching the flank of the Jackal. He came up the stairs on red and he walked straight into the Jaeger, who I believe had repositioned after dropping the hatch, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes,
So,
I don't know where his initial rotate came from. I'm going to guess it was main stairs through 90. It seemed to be like right in between where everyone, it was the hole in the coverage that they needed to patch, and unfortunately they didn't. So now we're sitting in a 5-3 advantage, and I mean, you could notice Lucky as the Jackal try to get some coverage, make up for the lack of drones, but the moment he tried to do it is the moment he got eliminated. And I think that was huge play by Shamrock right there. I think that was smart, and he kept on pushing and taking advantage that there's that shock value. You know that Jackal got eliminated and went, why is that Jaeger there? Or Jaeger is top 90, and it's a little bit of frustration and it's stressful. You have to make up for the lack of communication in terms of the flanks going down, and I'm gonna guess they weren't prepared for it, and that's why he was able to pull out, I believe, was that 3 or 4K?
I want to say 3K. It might have been 4. No, it was C4 from below, I believe. Yeah, C4 from below. He didn't get the final kill. It was the 3 in between he got. But we're going to see an Aviator hold here with a Maestro, Mew, Rook, Valkyrie, and a Jaeger. And the Rook's a bit of an interesting pick for me. I'm not too sure what I'm going to Doc. Doc's better in my opinion. But I do roughly the same job.
I agree with you there. But we have Nomad on the board.
Yeah, it's a Nomad, and that's because of Shamrock. Because I think it's twice now he's come up and flanked and got really impactful kills. And they just want to cut out that flank without having to put a drone on it, which I understand, but still. Nomad's brought, if you want to be lazy and not put drones on flanks as much, that might be my opinion. And people might not like it, but that's how I feel Nomad is played and why you play Nomad.
You don't exactly have to be careful about every corner. You can hear it go off, essentially.
But we'll see a backside take one out as there's a Jaeger and a Valkyrie sat over by this north side. And then we'll see Lucky pushing into Astro from bedroom as he'll be getting droned in. As the pig window will get opened up. And Jackal scans the footprint of Jaeger and the Nomad goes down to the Valkyrie, and Sky even gets one onto the Ying for Jaeger actually rotates back and he's still getting pinged. Jackal's gonna get an easy wallbang right now if he decides to wallbang it, but he doesn't. And Valkyrie with her setup, their second of the round, and Skyhaven with a second for himself. For Jackal picks up 1 kill, and he'll pick up 2 downs right now. And Jackal in a 1v2 situation could clutch. He's still got a minute left, but he doesn't have diffuser. He'll have to push into a Maestro and a Mute. I imagine Mute still with shotgun and playing hard right up the door with that shotgun. Before playing hard right up the door with a shotgun, but he'll go down. And it's a 1v1 now. Maestro versus Jackal. Maestro has a lot more health, and Maestro will get that kill. And in the middle of that, we do have a DC, so we might have a rehost, which, Lord help us, would be fun. But
I think that round was interesting.
Aygo. Yeah, their roam, Aygo's roam was great from the Valkyrie, and then I didn't know how Sky even got 2 kills. In all honesty, I don't know if they're just pushing into sight or anything, but we'll have a rehost here, and Lord help us. Please pray for us trying to do 9 round histories, and we're back soon with probably
Enemy spotted. Enemy spotted.
And we're back. Sorry for the long rehearse. We had to sort a couple of technical issues, but we are back for what might be the very final round of this game, or we might see an amazing comeback from NG.
I was about to say, we are now sitting in a 6-3 match point with Aygo versus Nessus Gaming. The second map in the series as Aygo took the previous. So this could be the decider of the match, but as Striker said, if a comeback occurs, we would have to move on to the third map.
Sure, we're going to see a living room library hold here, which is interesting. We haven't seen these guys pull it out yet. This is their fourth defensive course. They're going to all four sides, showing how flexible they really are. We're going to see Legion, Smoke, Jaeger, Maestro, and Valkyrie. That Nemad being stuck in for NG just because of the sheer flanks Shamrock has been doing with that Jaeger on this map.
Absolutely, and then this site did not play too well for the defending team when Nessus was attempting to hold it. But I do want to see when Aygo was attempting, it overall came down to eliminations and did not come down to a plant, and came down to a lot of angle play, especially from Habana X Kairos on stairs. Glass, weirdly enough, prone on into sight, and Shira, and it actually was monumentous in showing as to how to counter against flanking, as the Jaeger was on main stair, or I believe it was on red stairs, attempting to flank, and it was a Sledge or a Thatcher who was able to eliminate him, and that really did sway the round into the attacker's favor. But I do want to see as to how the roam clearing is going to be, because both teams have had their strong suits, both teams have had their shortcomings. But Valkyrie and Jaeger getting trapped at 90. That's going to be Q and Shamrock's exchanging some shots, but ultimately it only came out to Ash sitting at half health by the end of the encounter. Now they are rocking a Nomad, so we do want to see as to how air jabs are going to play in roam clearing capabilities, or at least flank coverage. Here we have Lucky kind of prone, just crawling into, or from study into gaming, kind of see if you can pick off this Valkyrie who looks to be either playing in Vault or at 90. Not a whole lot of droning seems to be going on, but map dominance is being established, so she is in Vault. Marks are going down, and that is going to be the first elimination. Now, Ash may have suffered half HP earlier on throughout the fight, but that is going to be an elimination. Already a minute 45, a body down. Now that's not a huge pick for the attacking team, as Valkyrie already expelled her cams, but it is a roamer off the board. It's a gun off the board, so you can never complain about that. Here we see Lucky pushing on into Trophy, more head checking rather than droning, but I think they're just going to be really thorough and not allow an Ella Shadi, who is cursed previous rounds, to be what dictates the outcome of it. Good crossfire between Lucky and Thermite, but another elimination now. That's the Jaeger off the board. Now I believe the 3 remaining defenders are on site. Maestro, Smoke, and Legion. Now there are Evil Eyes and 3 beauty canisters still able to be utilized. However, with a minute left, 3 Candelas, I believe now 2 air jabs, or 1 because of the fact that they were using them for flank coverage. They had them pretty locked down into site. Now it's going to be up to the execution and the droning of the site itself. Marks are going down for the defending teams. They have the black eye watching corridor between the sites, but I don't think they have yet to hard breach into site here. I think, as I said that, a charge just went off.
I mean, there's 20 seconds left and it's a 5v3. And we're going to see, it's going to be a double pronged attack right now. Candelas going out, but they will get caught by an ADS. Webb gets one onto the Nomad flank. Going down though. Skyven picking up one. It's a 3v3 situation. But Keza picking up one. Now a 2v3 in favour of defenders. This is a great retake so far. Someone's going to pick up one though onto Webb, and that's the Maestro. One prone on Diffuser. There's one also on the stairs, I believe. Someone's going to fall back out of the breach. There's actually one above. This is big. They have to challenge above now if they want to win this round. Not too sure where the Legion is at this current moment. But Sky's going to take a lot of damage and go down to the Thermite. It's all up to Legion in a 2v1. Legion's going to get one onto the Thermite, but not get it onto the Ying, who's above. He'll go down, and NG just closing that out. And they'll win their first attack of the map.
Absolutely, I think that was a great recovery from Aygo there, pushing onto the Diffuser. But I think it was a great rotate from NG, putting a person up top watching the Diffuser. I mean, with the 7-second diffuse time, you're gonna get that shot one way or another. And overall, just a smart play, because pushing upstairs and then having to rotate all the way back downstairs would have been just too much time-wise to be able to make it.
Yeah, for sure. And we will see a dining room kitchen defense as they look to close this out now. We see a Castle Mute, Jaeger, Maestro, and the Valkyrie. And once again, a Nomad being brought out was used very, I won't say effective if he didn't catch anyone, but it was used to hold them flanks, which they were worried of. But the flanks never came, as both the Romans were killed very quickly in the last round.
I think this is going to be make or break for NG here, as this is the site to really demonstrate as to your flank coverage, your roaming clear. I mean, this is the site that has been defender oriented, I believe, every time we've seen it. So it's just gonna have to come down to how orchestrated they are, how well they can commit to whatever execution they decide to do. I mean, we do not see a Canberra over a hatch in laundry, so already a little bit promising in terms of a turnover, but it's just going to boil down to I really think it's going to be the roam clearing is what this round is going to boil out to, because of the fact that flanking has been so strong. It's enabled so many eliminations and has stopped pushes dead in their tracks, especially with Shamrock here as Jaeger. I believe he made the rotate through 90 and was able to get the 3 eliminations onto, I think it was a Twitch,
Twitch, Jackal, and Ash, I believe.
Yes, and that was very last seconds of the round, and then it put the attacking team had put NG into a 1v4 with Thermite being the last member alive. So we see a similar push breaching into bedroom already. Now, last round, Sledge got nitroed very quickly, as I was talking about vertical plays. It does not seem like it'll be the case right now, as he is still alive. They still have breach capabilities besides him. However, just how quick the hammer goes down, how unexpected, and it doesn't make a much sound cue until after it goes off and rips the hole through the wall. So we can see very much so the same kind of style push into Trophy.
We actually heard the nitro cell go off like 10 seconds after the stage made a hole somewhere. So that's the words of a nitro cell from the Valkyrie. As I said, Ash getting a kill onto the Jaeger thanks to them Nomad charges. So them flanks being stopped thanks to that Nomad, and it might give NG a way back into this, as you'll see Valkyrie rotate quickly back to site. All 4 defenders, I believe, on site right now, as one Valkyrie is discovered.
Air jabs have been the backup for drones if a drone is not there to stop a push or to stop a flank. So we do see the 4 defenders on site with a minute left. I think NG did a good job assessing what was going on, but an interesting flank going on from here. Now Thermite will get the second elimination for his team, and as the mute out of the way, the third will go down, or second from the Ash, third kill overall, 5v2, but a pullback from a refract that is now the Ying off the board. And a flurry of kills on the feed right there. It's now sitting at 2v2. It is a HP advantage in the way of the attacking team. NG trying to get the diffuser down. Valkyrie's not on site. The only one that can contest is Curry rotating on in. He will be easily eliminated, and as will the Valkyrie.
So, great attempt to bring it back there, but the Valkyrie and the castle shut down fairly quickly. But what happened there? Again, the Romans cleared too easily. Like Jaeger fell victim to that Nomad, and that was as soon as that Jaeger fell to that Nomad, they had no real presence above. They only had the Valkyrie who had rotated below for a flank. Now it worked, he got the flank off, but by the time he had got the flank it was too late. If he had done that 20 seconds earlier, Sky, even on that mute, would still be alive. And potentially, yeah, I think it was the Legion they were playing might have still been alive. However, that wasn't the case. They went round to flank. It was a good 3-piece by the 2 of them. Good flurry of kills, but it didn't amount to anything as NG were able to lock out the round. And now we go to our last round of regular time here, as they'll go to Aviator, probably the most common site.
So especially for ranked on this map. Now, I wholeheartedly agree with you with the time parameters of that flank. I unfortunately don't think the defending team had enough, I'll say, information. I don't know if there was a black eye in sight that wasn't able to see as to where the plant was going down. Maybe an instructional cam would have been, a little bit more optimal. Just overall, it just came down to the wire, and they did not have it. With the correction of the roam clearing, and the roam clearing almost being seen as too easy within that round, I think it fell to the attacking rounds because they were able to just take so much ground, the vertical plays, the pressure applied to members in sight. But we will see a return of Nomad and Ying. Now the Candelas didn't exactly fan out too particularly well, as the flank from Q was able to shut down before they were really used to their full potential. But the air jabs for roam clearing did manage to eliminate the Jaeger. That was the entry off the board, and it's a little bit more of a I would personally be a little hyped after that. I feel as if that is your window of opportunity, and they jumped right through it.
For sure, we're going to see the Jaeger and the Valkyrie once again roaming together over this map bedroom side like last time, but Jaeger's very pinched right now from the window, and he'll pick up a kill on, actually down onto Thermite as the Rook goes down and the Valkyrie's down, Rook's dead, Jaeger's dead, and NG are going to bring this back to overtime. And We might see a third map right here if this goes to overtime, because it's a 2v5 right now, and it's a minute 40 left, and the defenders ever since the rehost, they have really stumbled.
Absolutely. We are now sitting in a 2v5 scenario. Minute 30, plenty of time to gather information. Both defenders are on split sides, right in between each other, not particularly too large of a rotate between the two. You can now feel the pressure being applied. Ying's pre-fire through the bar will not land a successful shot. However, Mute will be taken down. We're now sitting in a 1v4 situation as Ash falls down. Thermite is sitting at 1 HP, or roughly. So if he managed to get any shots, but Ying will rush on in and close the round out.
Actually, no, actually gets that kill. But,
oh, sorry.
We're going to overtime.
Oof, sorry.
Yeah, we're going to overtime, and this could mean a third map. So this could be a very long day for us, Cash.
R/Boosh.
Yeah, but we're going to see these guys go to the defensive trophies. This is the one site they haven't pulled out during these last 3 rounds they lost. And this could be their saving grace. If they win this, they have to win an attack round or another defense if they lose that attack round. However, this map has been fairly even for both these teams in terms of attack and defense, which I didn't think I'd be saying anytime soon on Villa. But it's gone 3-3
I mean,
each
point
way.
for point, we are 6-6.
Yeah.
And were you saying that this map is the most defender-oriented?
I think this and Clubhouse.
Clubhouse. Okay, absolutely. So, I mean, this is really tick for tat. It seems as if NG is kind of gaining the momentum they were missing previously, and overall, I mean, we may see a third map because of the fact that they are cleaning up what was originally sloppy. They're picking up momentum and acceleration in areas where they needed it, and it is closing out these rounds effectively. I mean, it came down to a 4v1 in the previous round. Overall, we're not seeing a clean sweep to wrap it up nicely, and I feel as if Ying and Nomad are going to be recurring picks, you know, for as long as they have on, you know, for the attacking lines, because of the fact that their utility is just working so well for the style that they're playing right now. I mean, the roam clearing, you know, you can spot a drone, you can destroy a drone. Kind of hard to spot an air jab. We see some interesting black eye cams go out. They might be trying to get a little bit more aggressive, as that had previously worked for Aygo in attack rounds, and now that they have information that demonstrates that on defense rounds, we may just see a hop out from Cute here that gets more bodies than NG wishes. But we will see a pretty standard bedroom rappel up. He's not going to be jumping out. It looks to be a rotate around.
He's still got 2 of his Valk cams, which means he's going to use them as they need them, which not many Valkyrie players do, because they like to have these pre-placed outside cams or these really nice cams which which are really hard to throw in the moment, should we say. But he's going to keep hold of them, and maybe sell them as they need them, maybe for like a 10-second quick glance of information. Shamrock picks the kill onto the Nomad, and he'll pick another one onto the Ash, and if someone's picking up a kill on the Nomad and it's Shamrock, he's going to have a good round, because there's no more flank watch now.
Absolutely, that utility is not able to get used. He has free range, just about, as I don't see any drones really there to contest him. So he's going to be making the rotate through games and Aviator. They do have Vault opened up, which gives him a little bit of free access. Now a refrag will occur on to Valkyrie, and shots will land on Shamrock, dropping him quite low. One shot will be enough to do him in, but they do have main wall and statue open up. There's a minute 20, they can still get this plant down. But with a Maestro sitting at full HP and an Evil Eye kind of just mocking them right there, there is going to be contesting to do so. But a second elimination will go down for NG, as, speaking of which, Maestro falls. So now the Evil Eyes and Black Eyes have just turned into straight information. Castle will fall as well. So now we are sitting at a 2v3. One of the operators, Shamrock, is now sitting at roughly 5 HP. So it's very in the way for NG right now. Speaking of which, he will fall. The diffuser is going down. It's all up to the smoke of Aygo to make this push. One babe will go out. It won't be enough because he will fall to the ying of Lucky. Now we are sitting 7-6.
Right, I think we're going to see a third map, which means if NG win this, they would have won 5 rounds on the trot, which is very big for them. And I feel like it's going to be a long day, because this is still our second EU game. And if this goes to a third map, we will see these EU players switch day, because it is currently 11:20 at night for most of these players, I would say. And if we see another map, it's going to take more than 25 minutes or 40 minutes, shall we say? So we'll see it go past midnight. So I think at that point fatigue comes into this. I didn't think I'd be saying that in the best of 3 series, but fatigue could come into this at some point, and that
honestly,
could
it's
cost
huge. We see NG gaining momentum, but with how long the games are taking, they could just as well easily lose it, same as Aygo, and it could be a shutout for either team after this round. I'm not going to assume we're going to go to a third map. It is plausible, as we are sitting overtime match point for a team that was previously sitting match point 3-6. I think this is, I mean, no matter what the outcome is, I think we can, applaud NG here for really pulling it back, honestly, and cleaning up what was not there for them originally. It cost them a map, but it seems to be as if they don't want it to cost another one. So we see this is now Venka on Maestro, putting the cams pretty standard spot. We are not seeing the return of Caveira, which is, I'll say, good in my opinion. As the ROM clearing has been a little back and forth. It was cleaned up for NG, but here we see Jackal get brought back instead of a Nomad.
Speaking of a Jackal, gets the first kill onto the Legion, which is big, and that's a lot of pushing denial off the board, as them Gumars are a pain in the backside, as they look to have mostly full top floor control right now.
Bandit does have Nitro in hand. It looks to be as if he's trying to deny the vertical play. Not a whole lot of flank watch, or I'm not gonna say flank. There's not a whole lot of flank watch and flank aim. I've seen a whole lot of that. Shamrock on the Ash, still a force to be reckoned with. Speaking of flanking, we see someone rotate up red stairs, I think all the way from basement. But as we saw, previous drone work may be either present or cleaned up, and really changes what occurs on the round. We still have 1:36 left in this round. Speaking of C4, that is Sledge off the board. Vertical play denied. I don't know who officially got that kill. I'm going to guess it was Bandit, as he's the only one who has nitro cells on the remaining defending squad. So we're even in terms of really HP and people. As I say, Castle will fall. And I think this is second elimination for Jackal, but
nice.
We have a huge play going from Jaeger, who's approaching Trophy Corridor. Maestro will be injured, making it a 2v4 as of right now, as Bandit would be the only one to really kind of recover him. But I think they may have discovered as to where Jaeger is. We're seeing a lot of rotate go upstairs. Not only kill the Thatcher, so now we are sitting at 2v3, as he was, I believe, immediately refragged, and 50 seconds left on the round.
Move to 40 seconds now left. Maestro on 20 HP after that pick up. Bandit still on full HP, now getting Jackal trapped. And he's going to pull back to the back of the kitchen. Nice. The wall gets opened up next to that cast barricade by backstairs. And there's 25 seconds now, and the attack really has to start pushing. Because this is prime for an LMG, just to mow people down as they get pinched. As smokes come out. Jackal picks the kill onto the Maestro. It's all up to the Bandit in a 1v4. A 1v3, should I say. As he gets pinged, Shamrock gets that kill, and we're going to 15 rounds on Villa. As Aygo make sure they have one more defense to try and win it out 2-0, as
Excellent
they
shot,
might
Shamrock.
have just stopped the momentum from NG.
Aygo not giving up without a fight. So, really, it comes out to how the styles are gonna play out. Is NG's a little bit slow and methodical going to be enough to counter Aygo's
Now,
I'll say chaotic?
I mean, yeah. I mean, if this goes to a third map, we can immediately expect Nomad ban. Because
agree
ever
with you
since
there.
Nomad's been bought, apart from that, I mean, they even lost the Nomad game where Nomad was killed early on. But that Nomad's been such a nuisance to the defenders of Aygo that it has to be a ban moving on to the third map. If they go to a third map, I mean, we still have a round of this, and they could win. I won't put it past them. They've won this site before. Actually, yes, they won this site before, and it was a convincing win. However, they've come here a second time, and they lost it convincingly due to the Nomad. So this could go either way. I'm hoping for my sanity. We don't go to a third map. That's just my bias because I'm an EU caster and it's currently 11:30 at night. I have to cast NA. But for the viewer's sake, I do hope this goes to a third map because it's been 2 hell of a maps.
Say no worries, a striker passes out in the middle of one of the matches. I am more comfortable with solo casting. However, the duo casting is formidably far more entertaining. But honestly, this map has been pivotal. We saw that was the very first round. It did not go in the way of defenders. Then the attackers took it, and now the same attackers that took it are going to be defending it. Sky here sitting with a Nitrocell already in hand, almost prepped. I want to say a black eye cam. Ooh. And you hate to see
That's
it, a little
yikes.
jumpy on the trigger, as now the only other operator who has Nitrocells is Valkyrie. So another one is able to be tossed up, but if 2 Nitrocells get spent, and neither of which eliminate a player, that is a lot of utility off the board. Speaking of which, Valkyrie eliminating
Valkyrie
Nomad
too.
and Sledge, it's now a 5v3. Valkyrie is sitting, I believe, either injured or incredibly low, as Shamrock
Injured.
the Jaeger is sitting low as well. So they may just tie up bodies here, and very much so refragging their fallen teammates. So now that is the Valkyrie off. Not a strong pick in terms of utility, but that is still roam clearing. Still a 3v4. Shamrock is one shot, however, I don't think they have him droned out. They know the vicinity of where he may be, but every time I think they get comfortable, they kind of forget. And in terms of free kills, man, Shamrock really cashed his coupon in and got Ash off the board. Now a 2v4. They have possession of the fuser. Minute left in the round. They can still recuperate, still recover. However, they are 100% separated, as Thermite does not have the Thermite does have the fuser and is watching oversight while Ying's a little separated. Now he might get he sees Nessus' backpack, and he that's a quarter health. That's a quarter health. That's a quarter health. 40 seconds left in the match.
Oh my god.
I think Shamrock trying to pull out those team. And that is Ying off the board. We are sitting.
I think it's safe to say that Aygo would be the kings of the throw if they throw this with 20 seconds left. Webbs are going to finally finish the game and the series as Aygo take Villa 8-7 after winning or being up 6-3 before the rehost. They will string 2 rounds together, one after another, and win the game. My sanity is saved. And that's EU done for this week. With 2 hell of games, and we're moving on to the regional that bans Ella Shotgun every map, aka NA.
Peak, and more peaks is what we're expecting from the next matches. I think I love the methodical play of EU. I think those 2 maps were great. If a third map were to occur, You would hear tears in our voices. Thank you for tuning on in and stay around because we're literally right about to
Jumping
go
straight,
to NN.
yeah, straight in NA. Thank you very much, guys.
Enemy spotted. Enemy spotted.
What up, guys? I'm your caster, Elijah Striker, joined by NSO Cash and we bring you the NA Premiership, finally.
After
It's been a long day, but we're finally here. This is the only match today, I believe, because all the games have run on for so long. So we've chose the best game for you, and we are presenting that to you now. This is
the undefeated Titans
Vengeance, yeah. Both undefeated, so this should be a good game. Now, we'll see a Jackal ban along with a Nomad ban. Nomad makes a lot of sense, and which ban do you reckon it'll be? 1 or 2 for the Ella?
You think so?
Yeah, I reckon it'll be a Ella ban, either.
I don't know. Maybe it's Caveira from when we just last saw.
First ban Ella.
Yes.
Come on. So Ella shotgun being banned.
You can't spoil it for me. I'm on a delay.
Ella shotgun being banned. We kind of expected Ella shotgun to be banned. Honestly, we made so many jokes about it in EU when we were casting that. But
Really, Legion?
That's an interesting one. I almost scared it might be a Monty Blitz push, like because a Legion stops a lot all shields in those tracks, and Monty's very good on the downstairs hold. So.
Absolutely. I mean, with the loss of Legion, you know that there is potential for rushes. There is the potential for a little bit more greedy pushes because of the goo mines, altering sprint effect, and the fact that it's taking a significant amount of HP for such a little utility throughout its time of affecting the operator. Now, we do see Monty. You were able to successfully call that one. So you switch 6-pick over to Thermite. That is Rapuxel. We do see a staff open hold for the very first hold of the map, and I find that very interesting. Generally, it would be a top floor in CEO, or it would be a archives, meaning that they are comfortable with a strat that they have set up for such a. I want to say this site is attacker oriented, unless you have something to counter it and make it the way that it's not. Because of the fact that, spawn, you have access to both sites through just different entrances. Bill's flexing his accuracy on those poor picture frames on the wall there. But yeah, I think the induction of a bandit does show that they are going to be holding hard in some areas and then kind of expecting other ones to fall. Now, striker question, because I'm on a delay, do they have a Thatcher on 5?
No.
No, okay. Sorry, it's a little pixelated at times for me. So, as of now, they do not have anything, because of the 6-pick off of Twitch to Thermite, to stop those bandit batters from doing what they're supposed to do.
If I stop you there, the bandit is yet to place down any of his of his thingies. So I think he's going to do it. He does it now. Eventually, they're going to go on the north walls of staff room, and we see Doc getting very, very, very tagged up. Not too sure where that is. But it looks like it'll be a very quick push. By the looks of it, as I think I see aggressively pushing top floor. That might be my eyes deceiving me, but Doc's gonna stimulate himself off. And yet you'll see the sledge get a kill onto the Vigil already in that pack, but instantly refragged by the Jaeger. And that is the Habana off the board, so that's one of the hard structures gone. So they might be cutting out the position of the Jaeger as he gets killed, but then refragged by the sledge.
So a lot of bodies being exchanged in the first minute of the round. Way more aggressive than the EU matches that we have previously been spectating over, but a lot of utility loss. Speaking of which, another body is dropped for the defending team. So Vengeance is sitting in a 2v3 in the wave 4-5. Ash is a little tagged up, but still significant amount of HP. Speaking of which, will fall to the Echo, Gavin, who managed to land all the shots onto Skylight Stairwell. So now it's a 2v2, minute 15 left. As I say that, every time I say that, a body drops. So now speaking of Gavin, it's all up to him in a 1v2 scenario. I believe he still has both of his yokais, or at least one of them. I know he does have two of them. Still situated. The marks are going down. He is being fed information simultaneously as they drone him out. He's just watching both angles. He does tag up the sledge, not for a whole lot, as that the gun is more known for headshots. Speaking of which, a headshot will land on him, and Fide will take the first points of the map.
So what happened there was the upstairs control was established very quickly. Due to the Monty, he pushed through the hallway, pushed the conference, and established himself by Banana, which he was able to call out the Jaeger's position. He eventually got killed. Same with the visual, I imagine. We didn't get to quite see that. But that was how they lost top floor. Gavin was playing quite aggressive on the main stairs, but fell back. And that's telltale of NA. Is them. So you have Echo, who's a very plant denial heavy 3 armor player. Luckily he wasn't playing server stairs. Playing very aggressively, and they almost don't care too much about the utility. They more care about the ACOG, and that's fine if you bring in an Echo because of the ACOG. I'm not going to cuss you for that, unless you cash. And yeah.
So inadvertently, the staff of AG seems to be dissing upon each other. However, I think that was an interesting played out round. It was very aggressive, very much so played forthright. Not a whole lot of information was being gathered. They kind of used Monty as a walking, talking camera. Especially, you know, as you call out, he was watching for Banana as the Jaeger rotated upstairs. I think that the roam clearing was sufficient. However, I don't think anyone could go, hey, that Echo is in archives, or on, you know, server stairs, cough cough, and without a drone, you know, adequately spotting him. I feel like that should have been droned out. That was a little bit rushed in terms of going down the skylight stairs, especially for the Ash. They still had a considerable amount of time left. Not a whole lot of droning's being done. It's more of an eyes-on comm style we're seeing as the attackers are now already spawned in. But 1-0, I think it was still a really good take from Fide overall. I mean, even with losing the X-Kairoses, they knew they didn't have, you know, too much time to spend upstairs because of the fact that once you soft breach, it's not too much to do.
Yeah, for sure. I'm going to see them pushing back upstairs, and it's going to be more of the same, I think.
Absolutely. The Monty roam clear is, in my opinion, an undefeated roam clear when you do it correctly. It's blitz, but it's more formidable into holding them into whatever room and kind of trapping them, as long as it's a defender without a hatch to go to or impacts to kind of rotate out. But you don't exactly see too many defenders on site. You see them more holding a bit of crossfires and of which we see a little bit of a push onto site, and Bills will be eliminating the Monty, and a Nitro Cell will be taking out the Sledge. So we are now already in a 5v3 early on into the round, but Thermite will be refragged by Prodigy, and that's the Fuser down in main lobby, right next to Doc, ready to re-peek his teammate, or refrag falling out. Ash will eliminate him. Now sitting in a 2v4, minute 30 left. The attacking team 5 does not have possession of the diffuser. Habana will get another elimination, and that is onto the Valkyrie. I believe that was one of the only defenders on site, as that they were so formidably holding crossfires. So it's a 2v3. It's up to the remaining attackers to reoccupy the actual diffuser itself. They're going to be making rotating in, pre-firing smartly. Lethal.
No.
The Ash. Habana's in sight.
There is no defender in sight. I was trying to put that out. They're playing this fight off site. Impact goes off in staff, and Vigil with an aggressive quick pick will get one before getting refragged by the Ash. Ash in a 2v1 situation has diffuser. 45 seconds left, and won't find the head of the extra shit to attack a lot of shots. Lethal looking for the 1v2 clutch.
And ADS will eat his flashbang.
The books are in his way there as he looks to pre-fire the wall. Once you get a kill, he can't also defuse, or he'll know he'll get rushed. So it's a sticky situation right now.
30 seconds are left on, or 20 seconds are left on the actual timer itself. He still has 2 flashbangs left. He could fake a plant, force one of the attackers to finally push on through. Bills the Bandit will be going on through, but fall to the Ash now. 7 seconds are left on the clock. It is a 7-second defuse time, and Jaeger will take advantage of that. And it's just a slight amount of BMing from Prodigy here, but an excellent retake. Just a little bit, yeah. But a great retake from 3 defenders who are not on site, and allowed Ash and Habana free entry into site. Now, I feel as if that Habana was holding a little bit of a too hard of an angle on a really specific lane. 2 defenders could have simultaneously pushed down Skylight Stairs, as that Vigil pushed down or pushed through that window as well and quick peeked. It was really up to how they wanted to negate their push, but that could have gone even more sideways and not have been a refrag by the Ash immediately, depending as to how they took it. But we see a 6-pick from the Montank to the Thermite.
For sure, and what I found interesting about that was they had 4 bodies off site. They had everyone but the Valkyrie, I believe it was,
Yes.
off site, and it wasn't like it was a very vertical hold. It was a very horizontal hold. They had 2 playing the elevator, 1 playing the main stairs, which is the most vertical they got, and also the 1 playing in open area, which was the Vigil, I believe. So it was a very vertical hold, maybe expecting an open area take. However, that did not occur, and we will now see it tied up 1-1 after a great retake, and they'll be going top floor with a mirror, Doc, Smoke, Jaeger, and Castle. Interesting to see where these castles go down, and if they play anyone in this 90 hallway or elevator hallway.
Absolutely, and the hold that they were doing previously, in my opinion, I just want to say, was flat out interesting. Having a Doc and a Jaeger in the same elevator hall, almost in the same elevator at one point. Going back and forth. I mean, it panned out for them. They were able to get the point on the board. It was just not a position I personally expected to see. Castle's pretty standard for this site. I mean, because of Curve, because of Banana, parking lot, a single glass is just going to rip your head off if you allow them to do so, and pressure gets applied appropriately. Now, this is a site I wanted to see, especially 2 NA Titans like this going at it. This is the site that really shows execution. Execution, push, aggressiveness. I think overall, if you have a really good Ash, this site is pretty much, I'm not gonna say free pickings, but it is showing as to how aggressive an entry fragger could be with the smart amount of droning and the intel being provided. The castle setup here is pretty interesting. Thermite seems to be lone pushing on into front desk here. He is able to put down the charge, and that is going to allow access into site. Now, I don't know as of right now, is there too many defenders on site? I think the best cause here is going to be Black Mirrors defending over it in Closet there. But he has a free reign from which, and he will be eliminated. As I say, is he had the opportunity for two free picks there, or at least one onto Valkyrie, and to open up the Black Mirror, watching over elevator hallway, 90 hallway. I call it both. So now it is there's frag for frag. So now it is a 3v4 in the way of Vengeance, as they are holding this site strong as the X-Kairos is going down. Even numbers in terms of bodies. Minute left in the round. You see the execution falling into play as Lil Carmine here is sledge rappelling up window. He still has a nade. Speaking of which, I need to stop. I need to stop pointing at these people. It's a 1v2 in the last, or one of the last defenders is outside while the other one is in Closet. It is all up to people here to rotate on into site. He does not have possession of the diffuser. There is a Black Mirror that is popped, and it can be watched both ways now. He's going to be prone, watching over Curve, just to see if it can be an easy elimination onto the flank. Now 15 seconds left. It's gonna have to boil down to eliminations. Now, speaking of which, one will fall and is up into a 1v1 with 10 seconds remaining. He hopped on in, but Smoke will take him out. One interesting angle there.
That was Interesting execution. The fact that the thermite individually pushed Lobby, opened up the wall without anyone really droning him, I want to say, and just had free reign to open up the door, was very interesting. After that, when he got taken down, there was no pressure on the backside. It was all coming from the front side. And I understand it looked like they were doing for a double-pronged attack. They went for the thermite on the back, Habano on the front. But it would almost be better if they switched them roles around, because you didn't need to entirely open up that backside or lobby wall. Because
So it just needed pressure.
it just needed pressure, yeah, to clear out the mirror. It allowed the hard reacher who was opening it to be a lot safer when doing it. As if you had moved the mic to the front, where the Habano's went off, that gives you two walls, you can open up both of them, and it allows you to apply more pressure to the front. You can run in and plant instead of having to crouch or prone and plant, which is a lot faster and a lot safer. And that's what ultimately cost them, I think, the aggressiveness from the smoke as well onto that sledge. I mean, if I was Nigel, I wouldn't tell my smoke to do that, but I'm an EU caster, so what do I know? So
I mean, I'm happy you called that out. I mean, I really need to stop pinpointing operators and what they're doing. Every time I do it, this game they've been killed. But no, I absolutely agree with you there on the thermite pushing up through curve. I mean, I feel as if he was droned, that round was going to be won. And speaking of a thermite being droned, thermite will lose his head. Great pick, early pick. While coming away with your life, you don't need to be overly aggressive. That's their heart, or one of their hard breachers, as the X-Kyroses are still available to be utilized. But yes, if they droned previously, I feel like that was two easy picks, and that was free reign to B site, while simultaneously squeezing in the remaining operators on A site. But you see, I believe that is Pulse watching from Beepers, just to see if there's an easy wall bang there. Rapunzel as Switch is going to be droning out the closet here, and you just see a little bit more of a slower, methodical push. By the time this was happening, I'll say previously, all bodies weren't in. But vertical play will go down with Little Carmine, and a refrag will occur as Valkyrie finally falls. 2 minutes remaining in the round. They had the vertical plays going on. Prodigy is the only other depth roamer, I would like to say, as we saw him all the way in main lobby. And that is going to give him free access to either go through tellers and archives and stop a skylight push. Little Carmine eliminating Doc. What I feel is if that may have been on a little bit of an easy kill. I don't think he was aware that the floor above him was destroyed. But that does give Jaeger, I want to say it gives him the opportunity to pull a Shamrock and go for a deep flank. But speaking of things occurring, Diffuser will be going down, Habano will be the one doing so. Carmine watching over the hatch. Flurry of body dropping down. It's now a 2v2. This body for body exchange is now even in number of opponents. Defender advantage for HP. And the two remaining operators for Divide are separated off. They don't have immediate control of the diffuser, but they are able to reoccupy it very quickly. And what a flurry of shots as the sledge pushes on in the kitchen, eliminates the one going down. And Rapunzel is there to refrag him, jump up, and what an amazing shot. that man's got YY fakey 180'd and eliminated from Beepers.
right, so that was a lot. I feel that was a lot closer in terms of a lot closer round than the first time I saw that. Not in terms of bodies, in terms of how well the defenders held their sight. As their upstairs still lacked a bit. I feel like their upstairs roam wasn't very present, in my opinion. But their sight hold was a lot better. They were able to deny the plant at least once, with the Vigil going in big with a double kill of the SMG-12. So that's the positive. You're able to deny the plant, but you only had I think it was the Castle and the Jaeger. And I understand, I know it is very frag heavy, but it didn't look like to me you had any means of denying a plant, and that rubs me the wrong way because you, for all you know, you could be in a 5v1 situation, right? And plant goes down, and they could sit at the window, and they could pick you all off when you're trying to kill them, and because you had no plant now to deny that plant, they've won the round. So I feel like you always need a bit of plant now, and I didn't have it. I think that's where they lacked. They denied the plant, great, but they still didn't have that smoke, that echo, to deny that plant.
Absolutely, no, I agree with you there. It seemed as if that plant was the only thing contesting the plant was an elimination itself. We are seeing definitely considerable gunplay here from NA, and I think that's why they're so much more frag oriented. Is because of the fact that those kind of shots are more frequent, so they're a little bit more confident in peeking and their angles, and overall just even if it's a one-on-one scenario, they're gunfights. So plant defusal absolutely is seen in more methodical holds. I think this is way more for how many bodies can we drop, get them uncomfortable, and then kind of squeeze pressure on in. But speaking of which, we do have a Maestro making an appearance with the Evil Eyes. Now, we don't know if those Evil Eyes are going to be utilized to their most potential, but the Black Eyes, the Evil Eyes, it is a lot of intel being provided for Vengeance right now. It's 2v2, 2 minutes still remaining in the round. I do not see a huge amount of land being covered by the attacking team, by Fide here. And I think Vengeance learned from their previous rounds not to have everyone off-site. And speaking of which, one of the operators off-site does get eliminated. That's 5v4 already in the way of Vengeance. And a huge push coming from main lobby here onto Tellers. It's going to be up to how this execution goes down, because they do have the opportunity to push site, but it's going to have to boil out to how they feel comfortable doing so. Again, we'll get elimination, and that's the IQ. That's a refrag for the bandit that fell previously. Little Carmine the Ashes watching the angle. A second kill will go down, and that's the Pulse. That's a Nitrocell off the board. So there's 3 Nitrocells for this defending team overall. They have lost 2 out of the 3 thus far. Another elimination will go down. A third will go down. It's a 1v4, 1v2 in the way of Fide. Now the last defender, Prodigy Jaeger, is on site. He's outmanned in terms of HP and in numbers. They do have possession of the diffuser, however the operator who has the diffuser is the one with the formidably more health. Pre-fires will go by both sides. It's a bit of a bottleneck here for Jaeger now, but shots will connect and close out the round through the wall.
There wasn't a lot to analyse in that round. I think their roam presence is weak again. Their roaming hasn't been the best, or it's the fact that Fide have shut it down extremely well. But that just came down to pure gunplay. I mean, you saw as soon as they entered the site, there was 3 kills for Fide, 2 for the defenders. Like, it wasn't like it was one slowly after another, slowly working in the site. It was like 2 kills early on, bang, another 6 kills. And it's a 2v1 situation for that. Like, I think NA, at least Fide are doing these really quick, heavy executes, which are catching defenders off guard.
Absolutely. I feel as if it went from no land was covered by Fide to they're at our doorstep. And you really do need to assess as to how you're going to counter of which, because it seems as if the IGL gave out, call-outs, to have the roamers flank and rotate back. And Fide did a really good job at pulling them, at making sure they couldn't do it. They were eliminating them, they were cutting them off, and although they were doing their best efforts to support the remaining defenders on site, they honestly just couldn't get their positions to do so.
For sure, and I'm going to see a downstairs hold right now. And this is the first time we've actually seen a downstairs hold. This is round 6. So, very interesting. We'll see a new mirror smoke, alibi, and a Jaeger. Now, won't be for you to an alibi shotgun playing their main stairs. Well, them service down. I would love that.
I'm seeing that alibi and I'm thinking it should be an Echo, as it fanned out so well in archives.
I hate you. I hate you.
I'm seeing that and I'm thinking it should be someone who has more utility and could really end the game at the wire, but put him up front. But we have Mute with the shotty on the stairs watching on over. Now this site is deemed a little bit more attacker oriented because of the fact that once control of the hatch is established and the diffuser goes down, it's a very hard recovery, very hard retake. We see a standard little bit of a setup from Mira, and the attackers have done nothing but take this map. Look at this, they have taken over Skylight, they have taken over open area. And there's still 2 minutes left in the round. A beauty will go out, and there's 2 out of 3 being used. That may have been just another one. I don't know the exact numbers unless we swap on over to them. But hatches will be blown. It looks to be as this is going to be a server CC take. They're doing a great job at getting a little bit more intel oriented as the drones are going out. An initial frag will go on now. That is the Mute off the board, and that is a nitrocell. Now, not a lot of people realize the importance of nitrocells, especially later on in the round, but plant diffusal and really making sure that if there's a body there, they're not going to be up anymore. So it's a 4v5 in the way of 5. They have established a lot of ground. Now, there's a minute remaining still left in the round. None of the mirrors have been popped by the Twitch drones. I don't know if they're going to be saving that and trying to push them downstairs or through garage. But they're still up and standing. Mira Gavin here has a nitrocell at disposal if need be. Now, I don't know if they still have the utility to blow open CC. Speaking of nitro, one will be tossed. It will unfortunately be unsuccessful. Now, it's still even in terms of bodies. Ash is very low HP, but the number is still there. We approach on just about 30-second mark, a little bit more. Not all defenders are on site. They have yet to clear out Bills. And speaking of which, he will be eliminating the Thermite off the board. And what is that? The IQ? So it is now sitting a 1v3, 1v2.
Big.
He saw the play and he made it.
Ash got taken down by the mirror and 3-3 is that now?
I believe so.
And this has been it's been a quick game compared to EU. The EU games we casted were ending 8-6, 8-7 at the end of every map, but they were like 10 seconds left, 5 seconds left. Had to wait 4 or 5 seconds for the diffuser. These games, has the diffuser been planted once?
There was no. I don't think
below 30 seconds.
There was no. I don't think there was an attempt to do it that round, and I don't think it's gone down successfully anytime thus far. It's all coming down to eliminations. As Smoke eliminated the IQ when they previously tried to do it on CEO. When they tried to plant open area, it all went down eliminations, and that's when Twitch closed it out with that the straight abuse of that poor thumbstick. But we approach the 7th round of the match, which means we have a flip from who is attacking. So we previously saw all of these rounds have been Vengeance and their defenses. Now we are going to see as to how they approach their attacking rounds. Now we see another Echo appearance. I do question as to whether or not those yokais are going to be used for plant defusal, or because of the fact they have Valkyrie and yokais, if they are also going to go to information gathering. Now they're going to be playing downstairs in an armory first, which is generally not the picked site, especially for the first round on your defense, because of the fact that it is more attacker oriented, and it's a little bit more of considered a ranked site to go to because it's very comfortable. It's a little bit, you feel safer as a defender going here. I'm loving the Valkyrie camps going down by Gunny here in lights. But we also see our first presence of a Ying. Now Ying is definitely going to reward how aggressive and chaotic these rounds have been. With a Candela, you can blind a considerable amount, if not all, of the defending team that is in its array. Especially since the nerf, you're gonna have to slow down a little bit and make sure you prime it all the way if you want it to go immediately off. But we have a Smoke playing server, and a Jaeger playing blue stairs with 2 operators from the attacking team, Ying and Thermite, pushing through dirt. Now they're going to be droning out one another. Thermite's going to be droning in because he has the fuser, and, well, the Candelas were made for this purpose. So,
For sure.
I want to see the ADS go off.
For sure, and a minute left, or a minute gone should I say, and not a lot of map control established via the tunnel. They haven't really pushed the server yet. I imagine they've took top floor control, took open air control, got the hatches open, and it looks like the Ying's going to rotate all the way back to teammates. As they're actually getting the hatches from the safety of the top floor hatches, which is very smart. You don't have to push down into the open area to get the hatches and have to get the risk of maybe someone flanking. You can get them from the top floor very safely. With the Ash, get very aggressive on the hatch, and ooh, just missed the shots on the smoke there as he peeked aggressively under the hatch. As of the minute 19 left, and they're going to look to start going for the execute, I imagine. And Ash holding a very angle. Oh, but little carbine gets the kill with the smoke on the pack, and great shot by him in the smoke. Playing very aggressive for a smoke, but
Absolutely, he rotated from server back on into vault hallway, and he peeked the hatch. Little Carmine saying, I'm going to show you my little carbine, and eliminating the Ash off the board. And that was the first kill of the round. Speaking of which, immediately refragged. And another kill. This is just a flurry of bodies going down right now. The 2v4 in the way of Fide. We see Jaeger in open area, really trying to trump any efforts there is to make any rotates. He's the reverse rotate watch. But if the skylight hatch is blown, he can rotate on over, and it's a free kill onto Thermite. As I say, as he dies, and he stopped doing that. Mira just pushed and quick peeked. Quite impressively, may I add. Sledge will punish the aggression. However, it's a 1v3. We have 13 seconds left. He's sitting at full HP. He doesn't have enough time to rotate. He is going to be seeing if there's a last second defender that's trying to stop this push. He's going to go up the stairs just to drop down the hatch. He unfortunately doesn't at the time, and even with the diffuser, it's ruthless.
my mind's blown. What? I understand the Mirror got the kill, but what? Yeah. Why peek? Like, come on.
What confuses you, Striker? What don't
the
you
fact
grasp?
that you have the audacity to peek in such a big game as a Mirror when you have plankton oil.
But it was successple.
But
it
was
landed.
successful. It was a great hold. I can't knock that. It's just I'm an EU. I'm not used to this. But no, it was a great hold in general. I think the Jaeger came up big there on the, I think it was a late flank from sight, I want to say. Came up the main stairs all the way up to the top floor and used them open hatches. Because holes work 2 ways, so you can shoot up or down them. Of course, once the Habana used
2 ways.
Once the Habana had used them to open the hatches, she vacated them, which left them open for the Jaeger to rotate and get them 2 easy kills in open area, which did take down a lot of their pushing power. I believe it was the Ying and the Habana who went down. So we've seen Archives hold here.
And the X-Kairos were spent. However, that's still bodies off the board, that's still pressure being applied. I think it was an excellent analysis of what was going on in the push. So now we have a point in the way of Fide rewarding as to how they were kind of assessing the situation. We see a little Carmine pick up the Echo. Now, he was a little bit aggressive as Smoke, and God, I hope he is just as aggressive as Echo, really putting the work behind the cog. But we see a little bit of a standard hold here for our Archives tellers. Rotating on through. I imagine Vigil's going to head upstairs or kind of hold elevator hull. If need be, I'm going to bite my tongue because he seems to be stationary right here. And previously we saw a lot of pushing being done by main lobby. Really, it was that main lobby, it was that little office watching over elevator hall. It's an excellent position to cut off rotations. Let's go crazy here, rappelling all the way up onto main wall on the ATM wall here. I do love that position. I love seeing people get picked from that position. because it's an easy punish as long as the information's there and there is even a body there in the first place. The Vigil still on site, which intrigues me because I don't know if they were.
5 anchors.
Do they have 5 anchors?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, well, I don't think they wanted to make the mistake of having 4 people off site, and the only person on site is a Valkyrie. So we have Bills.
On this site though, an upstairs control is huge, and giving them that upstairs control. I forget which game it was, an EU game last week. We said the exact same thing. That they played so horizontal that it was an easy take for the attackers. We'll see the bandit get a kill, and the Asher just carelessly walked in, a little carbine, and the Echo, who's not playing server stairs, gets a kill, and let's go crazy.
Echo is tagged up for a quarter health. Is body's advantage in the way of fight is it's 5v3 and there's a minute 15 remaining in the round. Now they have lost an Ash and a Thatcher. That's huge because this site is soft breaching oriented, as I say when a sledge is going to be trying to floor bang. No. That was Echo lost a quarter health. Valkyrie will immediately get the refrag, and now it is a 2v4 again, still in the way of Fide. Now the remaining attacking operators for Vengeance is 100 HP, and speaking of which, they get another elimination, so it's a 2v3. They have the singular nitro cell of the Valkyrie and the bandit. So that's 2 nitro cells still on board for the lack of yokai coverage. Now 30 seconds left. They are going to have to pick as to where they're going to be executing. This didn't work for Bills earlier as Ash was picked off by Bandit sitting on top of a bomb. However, another elimination will go down. That now it's a 1v2 as Thermite will fall, and I don't believe that IQ does have possession of the fusion. My apologies. 9 seconds is remaining. It looks to be as if it's going to come down to the elimination. Pressure is being applied from both sides. He does able to finish off the person on Skylight Stairs, but not in sight.
What that came down to was great anchor play by the defenders. They had 5 people on site. I mean, normally that would not work against a more, let's say, methodical team. They would drone top floor, realize that you're all on site, and they would push you out of them key positions. That bandit, if he had sat there on an EU game and they had gave the enemy team top floor control, he would not be allowed to play anywhere near there because they would open up the entire floor. I think that's the mistake that Vengeance made. They didn't bring the soft structure to open up that floor and push these players out of these key angles.
They had Sledge, but unfortunately it did not play for too long as he got the elimination onto Echo. If an Echo playing in sight, playing smart, the next time make it an aggressive one. And was immediately refrag. So they did have, I think it was Ash and Sledge that unfortunately both fell, making their vertical plays a little restricted to what had previously been done. We see Little Carmine reinforcing Elevator Hall here. I do like to see plays done with this wall when it's not reinforced, especially a Glaz repelled up on that side, shooting through it, cutting off all rotation from 90, and sort of from closet bending, but I do like to see teams get punished for not reinforcing that, or at least a play that occurs from the lack of there. Now, it was an absolute flurry of kills. It was a Thermite that didn't get droned in, and a smoke that hopped out onto a sledge. I want to know as to how this round is going to fan out because of the fact that there is only a singular hard breacher. There is a lot of soft destruction in Zafia and a sledge for a site that is horizontal. And let's go crazy, goes nuts, and eliminates Lil Carmine. That's the dock off the board. Now, on black and white paper, not a huge amount of utility, but honestly, the HP and the gunfights we see in NA style play is needed. However, he walked away 100 HP.
It's not even that, it's the fact that you normally play your dock on the 90 hallway corner with a shield there, and you hold the angle all the way to Junta. And that denies so many people being able to play there unless they clear you out, which takes resources. We'll see the Thermite pick up the wall, now. As Lethal can't get to it in time, he's prone in. He's going to look to peek prone onto his IQ potentially. As the window gets opened up, Sledge is going to land a couple of shots onto him and will eventually get that kill on the windows. Now a 3v4 situation, now a 3v3 is going to pick up the kill onto the IQ, and very quickly this is becoming a frag fest as Sledge looks to drone downstairs. Make sure there's no one playing them dreaded server stairs.
Say a minute 30 left in the round. It's still plenty of time for them to be able to recuperate. Now it's a 2v3 in the way of Fide. It looks to be as if the Black Mirrors are both still up, and it's a free kill onto the poor Mira, who kind of just got caught with their pants down. He's just running on into sight. He's got a gun and he knows how to use it. So now they have it's what looks to be control of sight. The fuser's going down as I say, of which I bite my tongue because of the fact that Jaeger gets the elimination on the thermite. It's a 1v1, minute left. I hope that they have drones still being able to watch over. Now this kind of plays against Sledge, who has possession of sight. The fuser will be going down, and I don't think it's going to be contested in terms of because of the fact that they're so far away from each other. There's still 2 nades, and Sledge has the ability to long range and short range. Jaeger is going to be perfectly behind him. He might be able to get the wall bangs here. Jaeger does have HP advantage and a carbine, so he can kind of play with the angles here. But if they hear one another, it can be kind of a wall bang fest, and he falls. So excellent kill from Rapuxel there. And I think that is pushing us into match point.
I think it is. And we are about to go the entire game without seeing Echo play server stairs. I'm very happy.
I'm going to cry just a little bit. The fact that
For context, guys, who is watching this, I casted a game where Cash played Echo on the server stairs, and I basically roasted him for it multiple times.
However,
That's
I
the
roasted
inside
that
joke.
team alive. So
Anyway, getting back to this game.
Yep.
We're going to the Locker's CCTV room, and we've got a Bandit, Maestro, Valkyrie, and Jaeger, and I imagine a smoke. I'm hoping it's smoke. Valkyrie is a Doc. Now, Doc's an interesting pick on this side. I'm not gonna refer to it being an NA pick because it might be, but Doc normally on the site doesn't really have a lot of use. There's not a lot of angles you want to be peeking on this site. As in, you don't want to be peeking the server door or the CC door to server where the wall's normally breached. You don't really want to be peeking server at all. You don't want to be peeking garage because you'll probably lose that fight. So, Doc on this site is a very interesting pick. And doesn't bring a lot of utility. However, it is NA, and I imagine he'll probably be roaming somewhere obscure with it.
Yes, a roaming dock is a fun dock in my opinion, as you can get a little bit of greedy with your gunfights, pick yourself right back up, and go straight into the fray as you never left the frying pan. So spawn peeking, quick peeking with the cog, really just, you know, you have an HP advantage because of the fact that you can replenish your HP and or replenish your teammates' HP. So I do want to see as to how this utility is it utilized, or is it more of a, you know, a peak advantageous? Yes, yeah. But we are going back down to the basement. I'm surprised to see this site picked so much, but it's this or I think staff and open, so it's understandable if they're a little bit more comfortable with that and they don't exactly have preoccupation with a strat. Now they do have open area left pretty open, it looks to be, as Paketsar will just be pushing right on in. He, of course, Sledge is a soft breacher, so he's going to give the call-outs that if we watch flank rotation and roamers, we can get the X Kairos down, so at least open them up if that's their plane of attack. As I see a lot of bodies being oriented for the defending team downstairs. I don't know if this is another 5 people on site for fight here and if it will pan out, but we do see Hamana switch on over to open area. I assume to get the hatches, and Packet Star will be pushing on in CC with, or server into CC with Thermite as the wall gets opened up, watching over the bomb. Now, lastly, they were met with a very peeking Mira, who landed the shots and was able to eliminate Thermite in the last rounds. So the first elimination will be Jaeger, and the Valkyrie will fall shortly. Doc is sitting at very low HP. He will be eliminated as well, and it's now sitting at a 2v4 or 3 with an injured teammate. Now, IQ will be suffering some shots and ultimately taken out. Now it's even in terms of bodies. That was a 2v4. That was a 2-body advantage. Just now forfeited by Vengeance. We do have a disconnect from Little Carmine. But is up to the Bandit, who is off-site. Rapuxel is watching into the staff room, the blue rotate, and either if the plant goes down, or if he can successfully, flank and stop it, either or. The Mirror will take the head off of Packet, that is sledged down, and we are sitting in a 1v2 low HP'd Bills. Sends out a flashbang and will be taken out by the Bandit Rapuxel. I believe that is the map.
That's map 1, and no Echo playing server. Thank you. Right, our second map. I don't actually know what our second map would be. Bad cast on my behalf, I know. But we will be with you in a few minutes with that second map, as Fied 1-0 up against Vengeance as we're going to map 2. If I see a mirror peek a stupid angle one more time, I'm going to throw my beer out.
Enemy spotted.